Kindred, are you? Okay.
What do you need the meeting?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 23rd annual. What do you call this again? We've done it so many times, I just forget. Presentation evening. Kindred, are you up for giving yours?
So I actually have two. I have one about chairs and another one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How
can
long
I-
are these?
the chair one is like maybe 2 minutes,
You can do
and
both.
then
Yeah.
the other one. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna let Kindred have the floor. Just keep it under 30 minutes if you would. And then once you're done, we'll have 5 minutes of questions and discussions.
I
So
love how professional you look too with the glasses.
Can
yeah.
It's beautiful.
We gotta mute ourselves,
Yes.
right?
can we have participants pinned?
Yeah.
Like whoever's doing the presentation?
Yes, I'll pin them. And then we'll just all mute and we'll be good.
Okay. Wait. So I'm gonna screen share. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Can everybody see it? Okay. So my presentation is called Chair. It's really just chair appreciation. Here we have a couple of chairs here. Some are good for your back, some probably not as much. And then here's some more chairs. This one has some cool LEDs. And now we all share what our favorite chair is. Oh, how do I go back to
I
this?
don't know who this Elijah person is. I'm Pluto is not a planet.
So yeah. So what
I wonder
chair-
why. I wonder why you're asking this.
Anywho, let's just look at the chairs here. So, feel free to comment what you
But-
like, especially Elijah.
Mhm,
Which one
mhm.
you like? Do you like any of these?
Definitely not the middle one. The left and right look exactly the same to me.
No, this part is
Wheels,
different.
the cool
Wheels
stuff.
are different.
They have different wheels, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Then-
Mobility. is
Yeah, I'm not
greatly
big on the
impacted by
middle one. I'm not
choice.
big on like LEDs and that sort of thing. I mean, it could be cool, but also I feel like it might be distracting. I don't know like what it would look like with them off.
Okay, fair enough. And then how about any of these?
I really like the second one. The look of it's pretty cool. It looks like a gamer chair, but also is like a mix between a gamer chair and an office chair. So like it doesn't stand out that much for like meetings and that sort of thing.
Okay, and they do come in different colors. That there's one that's like this, but it's in gray, so, and one in
Mm.
white. And then this one has massage stuff. And then this one, I don't think it does. It might in this thingy. I don't know. And then there's a purple one. We heard that's your favorite color. So
Even though purple is my favorite color, if I were to go with a colored one, I would probably go with like a light blue so it matches like my desk. You see?
okay. So I'm gonna go and present one more time so we can have a closer look at this one.
I love how this isn't even just a presentation at all.
It is. I'm
I think you're
presenting
doing
it.
great.
Yeah. So you like this one? Out of all these, you like this one the most?
Probably. It's hard to say.
Probably. And then what about, would you rather have something like this?
Nah.
Okay.
Honestly,
And-
I also do like the look of the gamer chairs as well, though. That's the problem. I don't know which one I would go with. I'm indecisive.
Oh, you mean you like this red one?
Yeah, I like the look of the red and purple ones as well, but it's like I don't necessarily want something that would stand out for meeting, and I don't know if it would or not.
Well, I can send you the different colorways this one has and the different colorways in this one just cause. And then I don't know. I think Noah submitted this one, so he could find the different colors that they have, and I could send them to you.
Okay,
I can do that.
thank
yeah.
you.
Okay, so I'm done with.
Okay. Woo! I have an objection. No, we had 5 minutes to object, right?
Oh, I thought we used our 5 minutes for you choosing a chair, but sure. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I just have one complaint, and I'm sorry because I don't know you, but I'm sorry. You had the perfect opportunity to say, we can cherish these, but you just said chair appreciation. And honestly, I'm very disappointed.
Thank you.
And
I
I don't
too am
see our
disappointed
friendship
in you,
progressing too well after this. I'm totally.
Okay,
It sounded way more aggressive than I wanted it to. I'm sorry. No, but it's
It was a lost opportunity. I really missed out on that one. Thank you for the criticism.
my pleasure. Anytime.
Yep. I have another presentation, but I feel like somebody else should take a turn. So if anybody else wants to go.
Dan.
Our host is gone.
Oh,
Somebody
no.
unspotlight me. Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Well, I don't necessarily want to take over for him because it is like his thing, right?
Where did our fearless leader go?
We could do nose goes.
Noah, you have a whole outfit. Come
What's
back.
nose goes? What does that mean? What does this mean? I
Yeah,
don't know
I
what's
think that was your
happening. Why am I
childhood.
touching my nose?
It's a game that I don't play that everybody else does for some
The
I
reason.
don't
exposed
like it.
nose has to go.
What?
If your nose is exposed and you're the last one to put your finger on your nose, you have to go.
Oh,
There he's
My
back.
nose will not be
He's back.
exposed tonight.
Okay.
I did the chair presentation already.
Okay. And did you by chance do the other one or no?
Not yet. We were gonna ask you because I said somebody else can. Yeah.
Okay. While you're here, why don't you give your next presentation?
Okay. Sounds
I-
good.
Yeah. And then right after we'll have Chloe do hers, and then we'll go on.
Okay. Let me pull it up here.
we gotta repin her.
Okay.
Said unmute myself. Okay. 1 second. This might take a bit to load. Okay. There's a bunch of ducks quacking outside too. Okay.
Creature.
You're not complaining.
Let me see if it'll. Oh, it's loading. Okay. So, why Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is possibly a kind-hearted beta male, presented by me, and oh, why won't this bottom part? I have. Oh no. Okay. This definitions: the Winter Soldier, Captain America's best friend. Beta male, a male tending to assume a passive or subservient role in social or professional situations. Simp, a beta that tries really hard to impress a woman by buying her nice things, but never actually tells her he loves her. Like, dude, just tell her. Okay. Number 1, Zemo. So you can see. Okay. Bucky let himself get bossed around by this man who was not a super soldier, just a maniac with a lot of trauma and money. His name is Zemo. Here's a pic of him dancing right there. And him as a cartoon. He doesn't look like he could hurt a fly, but he did kill King T'Challa's dad. So, yep. Number 2, his outfit. I don't really need to say anything, but this is what Bucky looked like in the original cartoons. He was just Captain America's little sidekick. Granted, in the original cartoons, the characters were all pretty tame, I think. And then, I can't believe I thought it was a good idea too. Okay, Bucky brings roses to the first date he's been on in decades. The date was set up by an old man. He brings flowers. Are the roses a sign of chivalry or simping. You decide. Just kidding. I would say he's not a simp, just an old fashioned, and he's a big old softie. So that's the Winter Soldier. Those are the flowers, and that's his lady friend. Questions to consider. Are you a beta male? Do you have any similarities with Bucky Barnes or Baron Zemo? Are you a kind-hearted individual? Thanks for watching. I would also like to thank the Winter Soldier and Zemo for letting me use their pictures in the slideshow.
You got their or their like permission? Wow, that's actually very impressive. I
Bravo.
can't believe.
Bravo.
How did she get the permission of the Winter Soldier and Zemo?
She called him. I don't know.
Thank you.
So, questions? Anybody have questions? That's up to you to call on people, Kindred.
Oh, okay. And there was a disclaimer at the start that I didn't get to read, but I didn't want to put any slander on Bucky Barnes, but I didn't get to that. So. Any questions? Any comments? Any beta males? Any kind-hearted people?
I think Bridger has his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see with the two
I
heads.
thought Chad had his hand up.
Oh, Chad?
Chad would like to say, in answer to your first question, he is a beta male, and because of recent events with Kimberly, he is actually looking. So just so you know.
Okay.
What happened with Kimberly?
We don't need to talk about it tonight. I don't want to steal the show. But like
I need to hear
yeah.
this.
Okay.
No, we'll talk later, Elijah.
Okay.
He is available now,
Okay.
aggressively.
Oh, Noah.
Does this make the captain an alpha male or is he a sigma male?
I believe in alpha. I don't quite know what sigma is, if it's similar to alpha, but I believe Captain America is an alpha, yes. May I ask you, what is sigma? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I just see it pop up on my feed a lot.
Oh,
If somebody else can answer that question better, probably.
okay.
Sigma is a letter of the Greek alphabet.
Oh,
I mean, so are the others. So is
Awesome.
Sigma better than the others?
oh,
The Omega male.
is it Aaliyah? Sorry. You have your hand up.
I
What? I didn't get that.
I don't have my hand up. No.
Oh,
Sorry to disappoint.
my bad. My bad. Okay. Well, that's all I had. Oh, no, Noah, go ahead.
So is he kind-hearted because he's a beta, or is he a beta and he's kind-hearted? Does that mean that someone who's an alpha like Cap is not kind-hearted, or are we saying that it's separate? I'm really trying to make an argument here. I don't know.
There's an emphasis on the and. He just so happens to be a beta, and he's kind of a sweetheart too. See, but Captain America can be an alpha and also a sweetheart. So, yes. Oh my! Again, yes. How many? Okay.
Why is Zemo an alpha male? Is it because he dances? Does dancing make one an alpha male?
No.
Noah wants to know for personal reasons.
It's for a friend. Shut up.
No, he just he takes control of the Winter Soldier because he has these code words he used, and then he says them, and then he takes control, and Bucky lets himself get bossed around by him. So yeah. Are you drinking wine?
Yes, I'm having wine with my dinner. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I think I'm done. So thank you.
So real quick, thank you very much, Kindred. I was just told by Jenna that she has to leave really soon. Chloe, are you still able to stay until
Yes.
8? Okay. Would it be okay if Jenna went then? Okay. Alrighty. You are on then.
Okay, this might be a little controversial.
Hold on. Somebody got to unpin me. Elijah.
Oh, no, sorry. There we
Okay.
go.
Okay, so my opinion might be a bit controversial, but okay. My presentation shall be on potatoes. Okay, potatoes are one of the most versatile foods out there. They can be used for multiple purposes, and you cannot prove me otherwise. Now, I do have proof. We shall move on to the proof. The first way the potatoes can be used is in mashed potatoes. Everyone loves some good old-fashioned mashed potatoes, and they're made from potatoes, hence the name. Second is French fries. Every American loves French fries because they are the most American thing out there despite the name. Tater tots. Need I say more? Potato wedges. Potato wedges are amazing, both fried and baked. Is that a thing? Potato soup. Potato soup is amazing because potatoes give a nice creamy base for the soup, and it's just awesome. And also the potato chunks. Yes. Then we have smashed potato, which is basically mashed potato, except it's chunkier than mashed potato. Our seventh item is baked potato. Everyone knows what a baked potato is. Our eighth item is roasted potato. Everyone knows what a roasted potato is, I'm going to assume, so I'm going to move on. And we have potato chips. Everyone loves some good old-fashioned potato chips to go with that sandwich, you know? And if you're weird, you might want to eat a raw potato. Who am I to judge? But some people do eat raw potatoes. So I had to put that on there. And there are many more uses for potatoes. Thank you. And this concludes my TED Talk.
Thank you very much. Oh, and you may answer questions now, Jenna Hart.
Okay. Elijah first.
Yes, hello. I would like to know your proof on why you would say everyone likes potato chips.
It was just a generalization.
Generalization there. I'm not sure
Just
about
like-
that.
Just like everyone loves God,
Yeah,
you know?
not everyone loves God.
Right, I know. It was
Mhm.
just a generalization.
Yeah, like Bridger said, I think you need to cite your sources.
Personal experience.
I'm just joking. You did a good job.
Kindred.
You said, and I quote, potatoes have many other uses at the end of your slide. Would you say that another use for potatoes could be you could take a raw one and throw it at someone?
Yes.
So you're saying that potatoes can in fact be used for violence?
Now, I wouldn't call it violence. I would call it self-defense because in the event that you need to defend yourself against
Cancelled.
someone and you happen to have a potato, you throw that at them. But I'm not condoning just randomly throwing a potato at someone. No, do not do that. You're going to get arrested.
Canceled. I rest my case.
Aaliyah. Okay, so first and foremost, Noah. So like I have a dark joke that I would like to share. Is that okay, or should I just not, just to keep it, you know?
Kindred
fresh or
might
whatever?
cancel you. I don't, you do what you
That's
want.
okay.
You know,
She missed
you're an
the
adult.
opportunity for teachers. Okay. In that
Yeah.
case, so the Irish in me is very offended because my ancestors didn't have enough potatoes. So basically, you waving potatoes in my face, I feel very offended.
It wasn't meant to be offended. In fact, I'm
Another
proud of it.
reason to cancel her. Offensive to Irish people. We
It's
got
not,
her,
it's
guys.
not
Yeah.
to be offensive. Just because there was a
Are
famine
you saying
in
that my
Ireland,
feelings as an Irish woman are invalid?
Why are
because
you
there was a
invalidating
famine
her
in-
injustices?
just because there was a famine in Ireland,
from
does not
Idaho,
mean
I'm
that we stole
offended.
your potatoes.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that you're against the Irish people?
I am not.
I
I'm
think
not.
she is.
am
Everybody,
not.
she's racist.
Mhm.
She's got her, got her. I'm sorry.
What?
Order in the court. Order. Gavel. Gavel. Order. We won't be having these kinds of attacks on our speakers, please.
We will not have ad hominems in this debate.
Oh, I also propose another use for potatoes. Potato lamps.
You still have a few minutes to answer questions if you
Okay,
like.
okay. Who shall I call on? Chloe.
I would like to know, in stating that potatoes can be eaten as raw potatoes, does this mean that you approve of the consumption of raw potatoes? And if so, does it negate your entire argument?
I'm just saying that they can be. I don't have an opinion either way.
But do you approve? Because as a politician for potatoes, I don't think you should be
I don't-
approving of such things.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't approve of it, but it can be eaten as a potato.
Okay.
You know, it's a form of potato and people do eat it. So I put it there,
As you have
Because-
appeased my party, the party that eats raw potatoes is probably going to be at your door tomorrow, but I'm satisfied, so thank you.
Okay, great. And Rachel.
Finally.
Sorry. You're
I
kind of far
liked-
down in the list.
Now I know how you feel about me. Okay.
No, I meant like on the Zoom thing.
Okay,
I just called on
fine,
people how I
I
see them.
understand. My question is in regards to a form of potato that was neglected in your presentation and for which I am also offended. It actually involves potato salad.
Oh, potato salad.
I thought of
You
one
racist
too.
those that love salad?
I haven't actually had potato salad, and I literally put this together like 5 minutes before.
Really?
So
Really? So you claim that your neglecting of potato salad is due to your own personal inexperience?
No, it's just lack of time.
Misrepresentation.
I just I rest-
Order. Gavel. Gavel. Order. Next
see,
question, please.
I would have put it on, but I simply didn't have time, and I gotta go soon. So, Kindred.
Did you in fact say that potatoes are mashed? Sorry, voice crack. Are smashed and mashed in your presentation?
They're two different things.
That's not my question. Did you in fact say that?
Yes.
Have you ever considered the amount of violence and abuse that has been committed on potatoes for the last centuries? Because they have feelings too, and I do not appreciate your calloused attitude.
Please ask questions to the person giving the presentation. Personal attacks will not be tolerated. My client will not answer.
Jenna, call on me. Hash browns.
Oh man, I was gonna put that there.
Dies.
Not the headset falling off. Sorry for that noise. That was probably just really loud. I can't remember your name, but I know your screen name is not your name.
Noah. You can call me if you want to. I just wanted to make a point that if we think about all these different kinds of potatoes we talked about, such as hash brown, potato salad, eating raw potatoes, the ones that you've all thought of that have really divided us, doesn't it all just prove to Jenna's point that potatoes are so versatile? Why are we hurting each other when in reality we should just be together loving potatoes? That's all I had to say.
Thank you. That was a great point.
So beautiful.
I think that's all of our time for the potato discussion. Thank you, Jenna, for putting up with so much violence and hatred towards you. Now we shall have Chloe on her presentation, please. We'll pin you.
I have a couple of disclaimers I need to make at the outset of this presentation. The first one being, yes, I'm aware that as witnesses, we don't believe that aliens are real. We are discounting that fact for the moment. Second disclaimer is that this is just a small portion of a larger conspiracy theory. So please do not think this is complete. The government shutdown will be happening shortly, not purely by this. Now I may continue. Need to screen share something? All right, this is a Vine. Some of you are probably aware of this Vine. You may have seen it in your local area. This is called the kudzu vine. It is very invasive. It takes over. It has been present since the early 1900s. The aliens did not choose to activate it until later on. There are reasons for this. The economic system was actually strong at that point, and global warming had not effectively done its job. So the Vine was not activated. In recent years, specifically beginning around 2010, the Vine became activated, and we have what is now known as, this isn't working. How do I do this? Hi, welcome, Chili's. Yes, this is, nope, that's not it. Hold on, guys, hold on. Here we go.
Ma'am, this is very unprofessional.
I know, okay, I know.
Can we
I
berate
get
her
this.
based on her just
Okay.
unpreparedness?
Objection, please.
Aliens.
All right, you got my attention.
Aliens, okay. So the basis of this Vine, this is how it works, all right? The aliens have brought this about. It is taking over. Actually, if you go through Tennessee, it's horrifying. Entire forest ecosystems are dying because of this invasive species. Now, what is it invading? What is it killing? Ecosystems such as forests. What do forests do? They process the carbon monoxide that we as humans put out. Too much carbon monoxide means a greenhouse effect, probably, and death. So the aliens want suffocation. Why do violence when you could slowly suffocate people to death? They don't even see it coming because it's like one forest at a time. So they don't even like, humans are dumb. You know, we're kind of focusing on our own global warming and on this kudzu vine, when really they're the ones who are killing us, which slowly leads to the inevitable death. Aliens are killing us. Also, the government is the one who brought kudzu into this specific continent because they thought it would take erosion control, meaning that the lizard people are also involved in this. That's a separate conspiracy. Don't feel like getting into it tonight. Have a good night, y'all. We're open for questions. I see Aaliyah.
Hi, yes, okay, so, you said are you trying to identify as an alien, or are you in fact an alien yourself? Because you were insulting the human race, but yeah, you did say we.
I did not ask for any personal questions. This is about the topic itself. I'm sorry, I choose not to answer. Elijah?
Not so much a question, but commendation on the presentation. Because I did live in Tennessee and we had these all over the place. And to add on to your thoughts, not only are they very widespread, but they're growing fast. They'll grow
Extremely
upwards
quickly.
of 2 feet a day, I believe, something like that.
It's true.
It's incredible how fast they'll overtake an entire population.
It has been dubbed the vine that ate the South, but yet it is getting no recognition. Mr. Elliott.
My only statement is ain't no planet S coming because ain't no space because ain't not globe Earth. I think that strengthens your point.
Not to out anyone, but he's also a fellow alien based off of that statement. Thank you for that. Michael?
Rude.
In the presentation, you made a distinction between the aliens and the lizard people. What are lizard people? Where do they come from?
Sorry. The lizard people have to do with flat Earth. They are the chemtrails that make everyone believe that the skyscrapers are actually real. But that would be a much longer discussion. If you'd like to, you can message me about it afterwards.
You ever see the
I will
1980s
do that.
Mario movie?
The 1980s Mario movie we can't discuss because it had leaked information in it. Toby?
So you say they're trying to suffocate us by killing the trees, but don't the vines also do the oxygen cycle? So are
That's
they in
what
fact
they
trying
would
to
like
help
you
us
to
as
think.
opposed to kill us?
That's what they'd like you to think, but the vines are actually dependent on the ecosystem that the forest provides. Once the forest dies, the vine also dies, leaving us without any form of air supply. Dan?
So are you suggesting that we should go save our planet or attack these aliens somehow? Should we, in effect, do this for the vine?
Contempt of court, please.
I'm afraid
Sustained.
I'm afraid mutiny is not on the table for myself and my crew at the moment, so I cannot offer any advice. Belle, thank you for coming to my I don't know what this is. Jenna?
Kangaroo court.
Thank you,
This was
Chloe.
a very
That's the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jenna.
this was a very great presentation, but the question is, well, not even question. The thing is, I really don't think oxygen would ever run out because one, they're not getting into our homes. Lots of people have indoor plants, as is behind you. I have several in my house, and they all produce oxygen. So really, oxygen wouldn't go extinct. I don't know.
I would like to ask, with people have their hands up, is anyone addressing what Jenna just said?
Yes.
Okay, Elijah, please do continue.
I would like to point out, I'm not sure if you realize how little oxygen one plant puts out. It's an incredibly small amount, not nearly enough to sustain a person. You have to have several trees to sustain one person.
The devastating speed at which this vine grows means that we cannot actually sustainably replace it. Kindred?
I just wanted to bring up a little fact that most of the oxygen that gets put out into the atmosphere is actually by small organisms living in the ocean, not by trees or plants. So I digress.
Oh. Invalid. Thank you. Okay. I think that might be all the questions. If anyone would like to hear about the lizard people, please. Oh, Lacey, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
In Jenna's defense, we don't have this vine in the north, so I'm assuming it has a zone reference like most plants in the south do that can't grow up here because it's too cold. Therefore, our forests and our ecosystems are fine, meaning we will supply oxygen around the world.
Not true. The oh damn. Okay. The vine is being slowly activated so that the humans do not notice what the aliens are doing. It's a long con because they don't like violence. They just want to suffocate the humans slowly. It'll come to you eventually. Don't worry.
That's about 5 minutes. That's all the time we have for Chloe's questions. Thank you all for your well thought out questions. Let's see. Our next presentation comes from Bridger Davis. Bridger, take it away.
Thank you. Give me a sec to spotlight. No, not screen share. Okay, there we go. All right. My presentation is on, oh, hold on. Can you guys see it? No cheating. Don't look at the side. Okay. Starter packs for each friend. Almost each friend. Some of you, I don't know for that long, and so you don't have slides. So I am sorry, but I love you all equally sometimes, usually not at all. Okay. So now that we've gotten those out of the way, we start with Chloe, alien girl. Here are her emojis. So she's cool. So she has the sunglass emojis. She also plays guitar, and she reminds me of when we cut Liz with scissors. That was fun. I don't know. She was just like really invested in that. Also, this is her #1 quote from the day we were all brothers and sisters in our cult. I like to imagine it's the sound of the angels flying in mid-heaven. Iconic. So here's the Chloe starter pack. We have personality because she's into the personality types. We have plants because there's plants behind her from the aliens. And then her baskets, her iconic baskets. And then, of course, she is secretly Hannah's therapist, as we all know. There's her guitar. And also, this is a picture of someone putting in a floor because she wants to do that at Bethel. And then there's this quote. No, I'm not actually in the Fishkill, Bethel. Because she always gets asked, like, oh, so you're in Fishkill. So no, I'm not actually in the Fishkill, Bethel. Then we have the Rachel starter pack. Is Rachel here for this? I can't see on my screen. Yeah. All right. Rachel, she loves fall. That could be her throwing those leaves. Yeah. Sister Edith, our beloved Rachel. Sister Edith. Mamma Mia, a favorite musical of hers, and she loves singing and being Greek and stuff. There's a pine cone because she has those. There's Liz. There she is, joining with no video. Iconic. And then, of course, all the GIFs that Rachel uses, she, like, I don't know why, she just has so many. So it's always like, James, I forgot to put I forgot to transition this one. So we just start off with tall girl. James is tall. And then there are the season, because he's always eating sunflower seeds. Can you hear me, James? Are you there? You have your camera off.
It's cracked pepper, but that works too.
Okay. Guys, wait for this. And then there's him always in the corner. This is always how he looks. That's a strainer, and that's just someone modeling for us. But that's always how he looks in his corner. And then so there's music because James loves music, and then he's always, of course, funny, always. And there's his Instagram thing because he posts daily. It's a ritual, really. And then there's this little guy whose name I can't remember, but James puts him in chats all the time. So reminds me of him. And then there's some of his ex-wives. So I found them on stock photos. So one of them at least is bound to be one of his wives. And then we've got Elijah. So here are Elijah's emojis. That's because he's always on Zoom. That is also because he loves the Bible, scrolls. He's very spiritual. And then, wait, why is that there? So I forgot about that, but it's there. And then your favorite animal is the fox, Elijah. The fennec fox, to be specific, and you want one, and maybe I'll get you one day, you never know. But there it is. So here's your starter pack. We have Clorox wipes. You're like the most hygienic person I know. Maybe that's what the DNA thing was for. There's your chair. There it is. You like to do that. That's funny. It makes Belle laugh. And then there are all your animals that you had growing up, because you always talk about like how many. Okay, thank you, Elijah. Yes. Because you always talk about how many animals you have. And then there's no needles. And then that's just because every time you talk about Luke, I'm so sorry, but it's like, you're moving to Minnesota. Well, my roommate, it's just iconic. And then there's the couch that I remember meeting you at on Zoom. Belle. So her biggest weakness is being perceived, so that's why I put this together. Here are her emojis. She is dad. She does this. That's just her. She also likes the music note. Favorite quote from her is something she didn't even say. I would like to be snipperated. Apparently she said separated or something. That's not as funny, okay? So this is the most likely casket she would be buried in. It's sparkly and purple. I'll send you the Amazon link later. Okay, so here's the Bell starter pack. We start out with Gibby, that I also forgot to transition. And then there are her bangs and then glasses. She is dad. And then these are her octopus friends. This is her hoodie. There's her intimidating longboard. She also likes 5 sauce, and she never says it like completely. She never says 5 seconds of summer. She doesn't say it like she doesn't. No, it's just 5 sauce. There is her bucket hat. There is someone, another model, eating a taquito because she got pneumonia once. She says this all the time. And then there is a urinal, and then there is a woman standing on a urinal. Because she did that once. And then there's this man from Steven Universe. I don't know. I've still never seen it, but she likes it. All right, Jossie. Jossie's not here. She's not here with us today. She's in a better place, hanging out with a different friend. But this is her starter pack. She loves Animal Crossing. She probably spends too much time on it. She loves Starbucks. I don't know. She gives me Starbucks vibes. Twinkle lights too. And like her little Polaroid. And then she also makes friendship bracelets, and she has a yellow phone case. These are just iconic things. This is her profile name. If you know, you know. Clementine Hibiscus Raspberry Lemonade. She's just not like other girls. And then this is her dog Millie. And then there's her sunset lamp. This is just her aesthetic. So that's just how it is. This is for Malia. Is she still here? Okay,
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, here's your starter pack. You like books. This is your family because you have so many people and also dogs. I mean, like there's just so many people in your family. And then this is me swimming and this is you watching because that's iconic. It's a full story, guys. Don't worry. She's not really a stalker. Kind of. And then she always makes fine references. And then she says D's nuts. And then she also has Visco. This is Malia's starter pack. And here's the Michael starter pack. This one I had fun with. Okay. So there's your chair. And then there's your mustache. Who would Michael be without your mustache? Then we have Florida Man, because that's who you are. There's some video editing stuff going on, because that's what you do. Then there's the vibration, since you vibrate after 9 p.m. So I hear. I haven't been there to witness it myself, but Leah looks traumatized. It's okay. I think why do you do that? Well, we'll ask you during the comments. Okay, there's a glow in the dark ring because legend has it you make those, I think. And then there's your favorite show or one of your favorite shows. And then there's a thermometer because you can only be in the heat and you cannot take the cold. There's your starter pack. Here's the Lacey starter pack. Forgot to transition that too, but Lacey's always like softly bullying. I don't know. It's just like she likes to attack people subtly and like nicely. It's funny. It's endearing. She does it with her brother a lot. There are her crocheted earrings. Yeah. There's a breakfast party going on. Sorry. If you know, you know. Then there are your plantains. Because that's like all you can eat. And then there's your finger because you're engaged or something. I'm kidding. Lacey's not engaged. She just has that to scare off boys. There's Trip, and then Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Duh. Like, if you haven't seen it, who are you? Are you even living your best life? No. The Destin starter pack, yes. So there's your bike. there's your shoulder. It's not really your shoulder, it's another model. But like it's just always the shoulder. And then there's your truck and your what I imagine you to dress in all the time. And then randomly unexpected, oh, I can't read. Random unexpected, yeah, funny text like, well, he's texted me several weird things over the course of our friendship, and they're always surprising and shocking, but funny. So yeah. And then here's finally, last but not least, my friend group starter pack. We have gw.org because we all like that website for some reason. We have being awesome all the time, guys. Can I get a round of applause for my friends? And then Zoom, because where would we be without it? And then there's some people laughing because we like to laugh. Look at how scared they look. I'm scared. Anyways, and then, yeah, that's it. That's all. Thank you. Why are there 58 things in the chat box?
Thank you very much, Bridger.
That was beautiful, Bridger.
Splendid.
Absolutely
me.
beautiful.
Very well put together.
I have to catch up on the chat. Yes,
don't
we'll take
think-
questions now.
Yes. If anybody has questions for him, please raise your hand.
After I'm done in the chat. I'm just kidding. I'll give it. Okay. Kindred.
So I have two questions. Number one is what's with the DNA emoji and Elijah's starter pack?
That's probably I think I put that because he's like the most health conscious person I know. Like he is so healthy all the time. He wouldn't even put raw duck eggs in his mouth. Like because he's like, no health. So he is only healthy and self safety conscious. Yeah.
I see. And there seemed to be like a slide or two missing.
There-
me.
Those
but
got lost
that's
in
okay.
the system. Yeah. We had a glitch where it dropped 4 of the people on here that I don't know that well. And then was that all? Okay. James.
So, how did you get a picture of my ex-wives, and how did you get them together in the same room?
I know.
And why were they on
That's funny.
like a stock photo site? I don't understand.
It was actually okay. So I put on this online form. It was a Craigslist ad, actually. I was like, does anyone? I know this is difficult to ask of the community, but like, can we get all the James people in here? And it just answers started.
Was it like a
piling
therapy
in.
group? They were all
What?
meeting up. Was it like a therapy group? They were all meeting up for the therapy.
Kind of
or-
a support group. They did. The
Yeah.
comments got kind of nasty because they were all like in unison over their hatred of you. So it was
Yeah.
kind of.
Most people
it was-
are.
It was yeah. It was a
Yeah.
lot to take in, but yeah. I
Sorry
got 'em.
about
And then I was just like, okay, smile. You know.
Yes, I need to be canceled.
Aaliyah.
Okay, so first of all, I would just like to say that so like for as long as I've known Elijah, the only thing I have heard that he eats are Hot Pockets, chips and salsa for breakfast, and then a huge
Why wasn't that in the starter pack? Freezer foods.
That's
oh yeah, and then
true.
ice cream for like
Ugh.
second breakfast. So he's not healthy all
Bachelor.
the time, exposed.
I love how
Um,
targeted he feels right now. I can see him being uncomfortable.
And then also, did you say that you had something or like that you said you're gonna ask me about something after the slide about why I do something, or is that my imagination? That's probably my imagination. I thought you said minute. Okay, never mind.
Are you
And then
still
also,
talking to me?
yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, sorry. And then so also I have to say goodbye. This has been lovely. But my family's doing a Mario Kart tournament, so
Oh,
Go.
beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Jealous.
Beat them all.
yeah.
I gotta
I
go.
will.
Take care.
See
I
you
gotta go
later.
too.
Also,
See ya.
Elijah, this is for you personally. Your opinion on Pluto, I hate you now. So
You okay? You
Bye.
need to. I'm gonna send you the video afterwards so you can. tell.
Technically, Elijah,
Done.
technically, it is a planet. It's just a dwarf planet.
No, it's no longer a dwarf planet.
Bye.
Wait, what?
It's no
Pluto
longer even
was
a dwarf
once a
planet, I don't
planet.
believe.
It can be a planet
Um,
again.
I
Elijah, you
am.
Are there
wanna-
any more
Wait until
questions
my
for-
Me and Michael
presentation.
will unite
Wait
against
until
you.
my presentation. We'll discuss this after my presentation.
You got a question, right,
Well,
Elijah?
I'm not gonna be here for
Yes.
the presentation because I do have to go right now. So
Okay.
it was
Well, see you,
lovely.
Jenna.
Meet up
I
your family in
enjoyed
that
Take
Mario.
care.
I enjoyed talking about potatoes. I enjoyed hearing other people's
Hi, Maddie.
presentations. Oh my gosh. Bye.
Bye, Jenna.
See ya. Have a nice
Bye.
one.
And
All
yes, I
right.
did have a question for you,
Yeah,
Bridger.
what's up?
So on Bell's starter pack.
Mhm.
Okay, but first of all, I would like to point out I really appreciate all the modeling work. Whoever is your model, I need to hire them. They're great.
Well, okay, yeah.
Agreed.
But
I think he
so
has a Google Voice number.
okay. So on, so on Belle's starter pack,
Yeah.
you just made mention, here's a keto because she got pneumonia once.
Yeah,
And I
can you
need
explain
an
that?
explanation.
I'll tell the
Okay,
story.
so
I'm the best.
You're gonna
at
tell the
telling
story? Shut up.
So how
No.
it happened is she was like,
And then I took a deep breath.
she got pneumonia from eating a taquito. She inhaled it and then she had to get surgery, and I think that's hilarious.
Actually,
So okay, here, give me like 2 minutes. Okay, so you're me, you're 13, you're a massively picky eater, you're eating taquitos, you love taquitos, but these ones are corn taquitos. Disgusting. Absolutely not. So I'm eating it. And I'm being so stupidly careful that the taquito does not by any means touch my tongue. Because if it does, I will cry and I will throw up and I will die. So I'm chewing it in a very, peculiar manner. And I got this chunk of taquito in my face and it goes wrong and it goes into my body and I choke on it. And I'm like, all right, that sucked and I hated it. But anyways, living my life. A few weeks go by. I can't breathe. I can't really like talk or laugh or sing or be alive without like coughing all of the time. How strange. I go to the doctor. The taquito went into my lung and was there for a very long amount of time.
Oh my!
how do you
Incredible.
breathe taquitos?
Why?
No way, Bill. No way.
That's
Yeah, dude.
Is
impressive.
it possible to learn this power?
I just got choke on some things real good. I'm so sorry. I hope you're good. It makes a lot of people laugh, and that makes me happy. So
She's
it's okay.
fine.
I'm fine. I think back, I'm like, hello,
This
what
is
was
so
that?
good. How have I
Hello?
never heard this story?
That's a beautiful
Because
story.
I forgot it happened for like a long time ago. A few months ago, I was
I
like,
got
wait a
blocked.
second.
Any other questions on my presentation?
Then the subject came up. Has anyone
just
ever
wanna say
breathed in
thank
a
you,
taquito?
Bridger.
I hope
Like,
you all
don't,
feel
like, I
attacked.
got you.
Mhm,
Do you all feel targeted and like really pinpointed?
I
Yes.
was just like, ah.
This is the most I've ever been perceived, and I hate it.
Yeah.
mhm.
Nice. My personal
see right
favorite,
into your
if I can put myself on the spot like that. I loved the James the
Hello?
the strainer thing. That's how he.
That was wrong. That was wrong.
That was
That
good.
was pretty good.
Trainer.
Are you gonna send us those slides?
What?
Yeah, can you send me the slide?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'll put it in
This
the
is
chat.
being recorded, so you could just get the recording and take screenshots.
that's true.
Probably.
Yeah, I
Right.
won't send it in the public group chat, but if anyone wants it, message me because I just don't want to like specifically. I know some don't like the
What's
things
up,
being out.
Christian?
Bridger, I aspire to your level of information gathering. Would it be possible for us to meet to share notes sometime?
Oh
I'd
my
like to really
goodness, I
like
would
write all
love
this
that.
down
That's a
I
somewhere.
would
trap.
love that.
It's a
That
trap.
is-
Thank you.
Christian is a criminal.
I love that quote, Toby. Yes.
Nice.
Kindred, did you have your hand up? What's up?
Just want to let you know I will now be traveling down to Colorado to force you to learn.
Is that you
about
at my doorbell that I need to go get? Bye, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
Classic Bridger getting kidnapped 2 seconds after his speech.
never mind.
It's Belle for exposing her.
Okay, well, if that's all from Bridger, we will be moving on then. Let's see. Rachel, would you like to give yours?
I am ready.
And sorry, but you're gonna have to answer some questions.
I will do my best to answer any questions anyone has after the presentation is over. Please listen carefully so that you can phrase your questions accordingly.
And I will be sharing media for her, so I'm just gonna pull up right now.
First,
Pay no
Oh, that's-
attention to the top row because that has spoilers for my thing.
okay. So, starting out, I will be talking about carrier pigeons. Specifically, I can't see the image. Can anybody else see it?
Oh, or okay, this. Sorry.
We're starting. You can put, yeah, there you go. Okay, perfect. So, pigeons. Many of you have seen them. I personally have not, but they are native to our neck of the woods. They're native to North America, Middle East, and Europe. We'll get into their history and specifically the conspiracy that a lot of people seem to believe the government uses them as spies, but I'm here to reveal the truth. It's basically a huge misunderstanding, but let's start at the beginning. So a true messenger pigeon is a variety of domestic pigeon derived from the wild rock dove. It's selectively bred for its ability to find its way over extremely long distances. It has an innate homing ability. Thus, you've heard the expression homing pigeon. It does this using magnetoreception. So homing pigeons, it's scientifically proven, are able to sense the Earth's magnetic field. And an investigation of this ability shows that they're able to do this because of tiny magnetic particles in their beaks. Now, everyone knows magnets attract each other. And where do you see pigeons and other similar birds constantly attracted to? Lampposts, electric street lights, electric wires, etc. And many people say this is due to the warmth that is emitted from these bulbs that makes them want to make their nests there because it's warm. But think about it. Those lights are only on for half the day. They're only on at night. During the day, they're off because there's natural sunlight. So why do birds flock there 24/7? Let's backtrack a little bit further. During World War I, pigeons were often outfitted with tiny cameras around their necks, right? And as they flew off into enemy territory, not the pigeons, but the cameras around their necks, and the officials behind enemy lines would snap pictures. And this could be where the idea started that pigeons are spies. It could be well into their early history. It was preconceived because of that. Now, the truth is, pigeons are not the spies of the world, but the government allows us to believe this because they use this thought process to make us believe these things without us realizing it. Because just like every other conspiracy out there, if the conspiracy theorists believe it, then nobody's really going to take it seriously. And because it's coming from the same person that believes the earth is flat, they won't put any weight into anything they say. Same with UFOs and Area 51. So as soon as someone brings it up, it's like, oh, it must be fictional. Whatever else they say, it can't be true because they believe those things. What people don't know is that a lot of times the government will do this on purpose. They will start creating myths and rumors to become popular because the more people that believe it, the more crazy, quote unquote, crazy people that believe it, the less the rest of the world will believe it. And in doing this, they use a method called the wolf method. They use individuals who have reputations for turning make-believe into fact, and they use them to kind of create a boy who cried wolf situation. So because someone who's crazy said, oh, pigeons are spies, oh, funny joke, conspiracy theory, it must not be true. They were only slightly off. Elijah, can I have the next image, please? So think about it. It's not just the US of A, it's the world. When the US government when has the US government or any government stopped at its own borders? When have they never thought, our neighbors look real sus? They always think that. And what better way than unsuspecting lampposts, lights, light bulbs, they're everywhere, all over the world. It's truly genius. Think about the fact that pigeons don't exist in a certain area. They only exist in a certain area. They're not worldwide. They only exist in North America, Middle East, and Europe. So what about the rest of the world? So obviously they need an overall picture of what's going on. And pigeons are not the way to go. They're victims because their electromagnetic beaks are attracted to the electromagnetic fields being given off by the real spies, who aren't even spies. They're lampposts, lights, electric street lights, and all those other daily things that everyone uses. You never would have thought that someone's listening to you or even watching you through one of those. Another conspiracy that people don't actually believe because it comes from someone who believes the earth is flat or whatever else, is that robots will take over the world one day. The truth is, They already have. But robots don't control the world by themselves. They're controlled by another force behind them. The real people in power. I'm not talking about governments. I'm talking about the people that live underground and have more money than Bruce Wayne, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk combined. Because only someone with real power can completely fall off the face of the earth and exist and enjoy this power of watching everyone and listening to everything without being traced themselves. The richest people in the world, no one knows who they are. Because that's what they want you to think. The objects you never thought possible, but that you pass by thousands of times a day, those are the things that are watching you and listening to you. And that's how they maintain their control. And it's all, to sum up, it's all ran through an algorithm, because that's a ton of information. It's run through an algorithm that organizes this information and allows those in power to have access to it and use this information to their benefit. Be afraid. Be very afraid. That is all. Oh, I had one more image. Please share that now, Elijah. And I would like y'all to look at this and think about how many light bulbs have you passed by recently? How many lampposts? You never would have thought. The electromagnetic waves from these light bulbs and pigeons, light from these light posts and lamp posts, makes the pigeons act bizarrely, which makes people think that they're spies. And the government uses that to hide the truth. That is all. Open for questions now, anybody? Professor Fish?
Yes. So if the lampposts are actually the spies, does that mean we can shoot the lampposts because I didn't sign a contract and it's technically not destruction of government property because they're not legally allowed to view me like that? Or is that more an obstruction of like vision?
It's a very good question. In reality, though, whenever you go to a grocery store, they're videotaping you, but you haven't given them permission.
I shoot those too.
But that's illegal. But they have a right to videotape you on their property because it's their property. When you leave your house, it's not your property anymore. Anybody can do whatever they want. There is no legal anything, and they
Anyone can do whatever they want.
As far as filming you, yes. If you're not,
so I can shoot them. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go take care of something.
Kendra, do you have a question?
Have you ever seen the movie Spies in Disguise?
I have. Well, is it the one with, that's the one with the pigeons, right? I haven't finished it. Yes, that's the one. Yes, I have seen of it, but I haven't actually watched it from beginning to end. But I know what you're referring to. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That was not the inspiration for this presentation by any means. Would like to make that clear. James, Elliot, any question?
Okay, where does the Patriot Act come into play? What is that supposed to do? Because this was enacted before 2001, I'm guessing.
That is an interesting question. So,
was that just a cover for what they were already doing, just in case they were exposed?
That was so that they had reason to go in. So basically, that was in order to be able to go after with just cause those that spy on them. But because this is so well covered up and so, broadly joked upon because no one could possibly take it seriously, they've never really truly had to address it because they haven't gotten caught. There's no proof. There's no proof.
Thanks, Obama.
Noah, Dan Boyd. Noah.
Yeah. So what exactly does this have to do, and what kind of bearing does this have on the Treaty of Versailles? Thank you.
Yes, it does. Any other questions? Oh, Belle.
Did you say you've never seen a pigeon in real life?
I have not ever seen a pigeon in real life. They don't live around here.
That's crazy. That's it.
Yes. Chloe?
I would just like to say in support of the professor of fish, people have knocked down 2 lampposts in the last month in my complex, so they're obviously catching on with no apparent repercussions. So please proceed.
Yep. What are they going to do? Sue you?
Exactly. Lacey Nelson?
Why do they need lampposts when everybody has one of these that has cameras and everything on it, and they can listen to you 24/7?
Because even though we're surrounded by people who have such technologies, it kind of also plays into the whole robots are going to take over the world thing. They use those as well. But in areas of the world where most people don't have cellular devices, like low income areas or people that function on farms or where there's no cell signal, how are they going to spy on those people? It's an all over picture. It's not just one area, which is why the pigeon thing makes no sense. But they allow us to believe it. You understand? Michael
But
Jameson,
we function on the farm where there's no service, and we still have them.
they use those as well.
That's true.
What about in Africa? Africa, they don't have them. Or they have less. They have significantly less. Michael?
Okay.
So this assumes that there are streetlights everywhere in the world.
Light bulbs, street lights, electric wires, lamp posts, it's also believed that they could also use street signs because they have this light reflective property. They can easily hide microchips in there that can receive the same information.
So the blind are safe.
No, they're still listening. The government is still
What
listening.
about areas? What about areas where there's no electricity or anything, like way in deep, like back in Africa, where there's no power, no nothing, no streetlights?
Well, see, those would be the areas where they have in-person spies, like the very old-fashioned way, you know? And since those areas are so few on the globe these days, they are able to better pinpoint their resources for whatever espionage they want to do. Kindred?
Have you ever thought about fire torches on a stick?
Come again?
If you took some fire and you put it on a torch and then you put it on a big stick, that would make a lamppost without electricity.
It would. But it's also a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they get you while they're camping.
It doesn't quite apply because they don't use those in most parts of the world. The parts of the world where they use those, they'll send in-person spies because it's much less. Because imagine if they had to put spies all over the world, that's too many. And
I
they'll
see.
easily get amongst a crowd. So it's easier to just send a small amount of spies into the areas where they can't get electric reception than it is to send spies everywhere.
I see. So are you one of those spies?
Anybody else have any questions? I live in an area where there's cell phones, so no. Any more questions? Well then, I guess that's it then. Thank you all for your time.
Maddie.
Hey, hold
Maddie
up a
had a-
second.
Thanks for
Hold up a
looking.
second.
Wait,
I have
Maddie.
a question.
Yes.
Are we all gonna die?
Got it.
Okay.
It's a good
Okay.
question.
Yes. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Your presentation was very good. I now am not able to walk down the street without crying. So thank you for ruining my life.
You could before?
Yeah.
Anytime.
Not till now. Yeah.
Live to serve.
So I was going to give a quick presentation. I did not prepare much of something. I did do a lot of extensive research though. So I'll just get into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about the 21st century, the things that have been brought about. Over the course of the 21st century, a lot of things have happened. People have gone from having no cell phones to having everyone have cell phones. We know that there was shoe phones back in the day. We don't talk about those things. Things have brought about, lots of violence has spread. The current time on the doomsday clock is now 100 seconds to midnight, closest it's ever been in history, even the world wars. People nowadays, they talk about things like pigeons, they talk about things like lampposts, but something that has really been one of the greatest atrocities of the 21st century is the destruction of truth. Many today will trade truth for their opinions. They'll trade truth for what they feel. They'll trade what they think one way is. They won't look into evidence. They'll just continue to feel the way they feel because it might disrupt their version of reality. One of the main examples of this, and the main examples of not accepting truth over your opinion, is the specific amount of time one must dunk a graham cracker in milk. Many people think it's different. A lot of people just have a feel for it. But does anyone truly know how much time is the correct amount of time? A Google search will find it's difficult to know this, but I have done extensive research. I've had a timer on my phone and I've dunked many graham crackers. And I found out the correct amount of time is 6 seconds for a full graham cracker. 6 seconds. 15 seconds, everything falls apart. 2 seconds is too little. But if you think that anything other than 6 seconds is better, well, then you're just supporting the fact that truth is gone. Truth, people, it must be upheld. Don't fight it. You know that that's the correct amount. So please, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, support truth. And don't dunk your graham crackers any more than 6 seconds or any less. That's all I had to say. Any questions? Belle, please.
So when you're dunking a graham cracker, because they come in the like they've got the little perforation or whatever, so that you can section them off into like 4 little squares. Are you breaking them apart into the 4 mini squares, or are you like dunking an entire graham cracker and then shoving it in your mouth?
That's a great question. Now, my mouth is larger than other people's mouths, but I am dunking it all at once. So you can dunk it all at once and then bite off a piece of it side by side. But 6 seconds is the full 4 square. Elijah, please.
Yes, my question, what is your favorite color?
We're
No
talking about
personal
truth here, Elijah.
Yeah, this is the truth. I need to know your true favorite color.
My true favorite color. Whatever color your mom is. It's black. I like black.
Okay.
Thank you. Christian.
Yes, I, like many of us throughout the world, like eating s'mores with my graham crackers. So I was wondering, is it socially acceptable to make a s'more, jam like a fork through the entire thing, and then submerge that in milk before I eat it?
Christian.
Yeah.
Have you ever been tested to see if you're a genius or not? Because you might be one.
Yeah, a few
That
times.
is a gorgeous idea. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I think the world would be a better place if
You know
had
what?
more
You're
voice.
beautiful too, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bridger, did you have a question?
Yeah. So my question is, what kind of milk were you using? This is an important
also
question.
a question of this is also an important question. This has to do a lot with truth. Whole milk, because I'm not a pansy.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer. So just out of curiosity, what happened to your almond milk supply?
I like to drink things that come out of animals. I don't like almond milk. I'm sorry. I like real
Could you have
milk.
said that any better?
No.
Wait, so
Elijah, did you have another question?
What about chocolate milk?
Ooh,
almond
that was no
chocolate.
research done on that one. I'm sorry.
You must research it.
I must. Lacey. please.
What was the temperature of the milk? Could that affect things?
That's also a good question. It was in the fridge, but it was also in a room. So I would say it's room temperature, but it's actually the temperature of the room, which was the fridge. Elijah, are you answering her question?
What was the humidity of the surrounding environment? Does that affect how long you would have to dip?
It would definitely, if you're like next to an ocean in a very hot area, that could sog up graham cracker a little. Chloe, please.
I would just like to know how many studies have been done that prove that this is consistent, and have any other researchers also been able to accomplish the same results as you?
I've had 70 other of my colleagues confirm this.
Wow,
We've
you know
tested
70
over,
people. Wow, so proud of
I
you.
know, right?
And
We've
somehow
tested
none of
over
them are us.
10,000 graham crackers. So it's solid research. That was imaginary. It was just me. I did totally do this though, like sat down and like timed it. And in 6 seconds, it was actually really good. So I Googled it and I was like, can you find this? And no, you can't find it like on Google. No, everyone wants to talk about, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead. Anybody else? Any questions? Kindred?
Yeah, why is your favorite color black?
Why not?
Actually, black isn't a color. Yes, this is now my presentation. No. I could have done a presentation on why black isn't a color. I should have done that, but now I'm doing why Pluto isn't a planet.
There you go, because it's not a color. It's the absence
because
of color.
Exactly.
Black is okay. It either means you're sad or you like power. That's what I've heard about the color black.
Why can't I be
So we're
both?
psychoanalyzing now.
He was talking about having depression on Wednesday, so we might be close.
There you go. I'm sad and I like power.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? If not, we will go on to Elijah's much better thought out why Pluto.
I don't think it's much more thought out, but thank you. Hopefully the dog barking in the background won't detract from this. I'm gonna take my hat off because I'm getting into serious mode. All right.
You have a dog?
Not mine. It's the sister that that Lucas and I are renting from. Anyway.
Okay, never mind.
All right. So let me double check I have everything set up properly. I do. Share screen. All right. So to start off, you heard about Pluto. It's messed up, right? Or is it? Is it really? Because so many people have the wrong assumption that something has gone wrong, that Pluto has this right to be a planet. However, what is a planet? Let's go back through history. The original planets, the original 7 planets in Greek history: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the moon, and the sun. This seems a bit different than our planets today, doesn't it? It really does. Now, back then, they didn't have good technology. They didn't have great telescopes to be able to tell the difference between the planets. These planets are simply the ones that they could see across the night sky. Basically, their definition of a planet was something that they could see moving in the night sky. And these stars weren't moving like all of these other planets, or the sun being a star. So they just assumed that these were planets. This is what they called planets. But yet, as history moved along, we see the nuance, the change in the terminology of planet. Our understanding changed to something that orbits the sun. They realized that the sun's not a planet itself, but whatever orbits the sun is a planet. So it continued on as technology got better, as telescopes improved. New planets were discovered. The moon and the sun were dropped as planets. Earth was added. And then we see 1781, Uranus. It's discovered. 1846, Neptune. 1930, Pluto. It originally was thought to be a planet. And this is what our understanding of the solar system was at that point. However, this picture's a lie. Why do I say that? Well, we see pictures like this all the time, right? In science textbooks, but the scaling is all wrong. If you were to scale the planets to size, it would be more like this. You see that little dot right there? That's Pluto. So tiny, you can barely even see it. But yet, not only is it the size, but the distance, I didn't prepare a slide for the distance because it's impossible to see on this scale. The distance is astronomically huge. And so the Pluto being so tiny and so far away, it's hard to even classify it in the same group. But they still did. They still classified Pluto as a planet. However, Pluto is smaller than several moons. Look at these moons. These are all moons that are bigger than Pluto. Take that into consideration. The moon being our Earth's moon. All of these others are for different planets in the solar system. Way bigger than Pluto. Now, another point to consider. Some other planets that were discovered. Juno, Pallas, Ceres, Vesta. Do you know these planets? Are these planets? Have you ever heard of them? They were at one point planets. However, as time moved along, more and more of these planets of similar sizes were discovered in this range between, I think that's between Mars and Jupiter. I'm not positive. As I said, I didn't have enough time to prepare this. But it turns out to be the asteroid belt. These are asteroids. And so the thinking of these 4 planets changed. They're no longer planets, they're asteroids. And so they were dropped from the school system. They're no longer taught to be planets. For good reason. Look at how many asteroids there are. Hundreds of thousands. These are all just asteroids. We wouldn't consider all of these to be planets. Imagine if going to school, you had to learn all of these names, all of these hundreds of thousands as planets. That doesn't seem reasonable, does it? Now, one last thing to consider, Pluto. The same thing happened with it. Over 35,000 similar sized rocks in space were found in the Kuiper Belt, Pluto being one of them. So do you really think it's reasonable to consider Pluto as a planet? I'll leave that for you to decide. But if you think that's reasonable, shouldn't it also be reasonable that these 35,000 others in the Kuiper Belt could be considered planets? What about the hundreds of thousands in the asteroid belt? If you think Pluto is a planet, then I think you're saying all of these are planets, which is reasonable if you think that is. But then should we have to agree that there's no distinction between these other planets that are much larger? Thank you. I will now be taking comments. Noah.
So when you're looking at those photos of the planets, I had a joke and I'm not going to make it, but when you're looking at those planets, when it comes to like the asteroid belts, when it comes to those different kinds of rocky belts, we're used to looking at a two-dimensional plane. So is that a actual shell like an onion would be if you're talking about it three-dimensionally, or is that just a two-dimensional thing? That begs another question though. If we're thinking about up and down, and you're thinking about making yourself orientating yourself in space, would up be where the top of the planets are, or would that be toward the gravitational source at the center of the solar system? Would up be away from the sun, or would it be towards the sun? Thank you.
So a bit off topic, but direction in space is all relative to whatever body that you are facing or that you are most drawn towards. Since
Do
right
people
now
count?
Since right now we are in the gravitational field of Earth, up would be away from Earth. If we were in the gravitational field of the sun, up would be away from the sun. It would just depend on whatever gravitational field that you are in.
So if you're in space and there's no planets around, you're next to somebody, they're technically your up.
Yes. Or I think up would be away from them, down would be towards them. All right, anyway, I would like to answer James' question.
Can you tell the class about Planet X?
I'll let you do that for your presentation.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Chloe.
Okay, so based off of your reasoning here, all of these other asteroids, which are too small to be considered planets, have no bearing, whereas they actually do. Their gravitational pull creates changes in our solar system. By the same reasoning, all the people on the Earth who don't reach a certain richness threshold also have no bearing. So thus, you're saying that all the little people can be wiped out of existence because we don't affect anything, but that is not true. The entire ecosystem of the world would fall apart. Thus,
I
if
think
all
you
the
took-
asteroids were not recognized, the
Well,
solar
you
system
took
would
what
fall
I
apart.
said. You took what I said out of context. I did not
That's
mean
what-
that the asteroids have no bearing. They are definitely very useful. I'm sure they have many bearings on our.
Are they
on
not
our
worthy
gravity.
of being recognized?
They're worth of being recognized as
Are
asteroids,
you
not as
implying that
planets.
Thanos was supposed to wipe out all the poor people?
What? Not even remotely. No.
I'm triggered.
I was making potatoes, so I do have a legitimate question. Is Pluto the only one out that far, or is there a whole belt out that far?
There's a whole belt, the Kuiper
Okay.
belt.
Okay.
Yeah, of like 35,000 different around that same size. Toby.
So in one of your earlier slides, you put the sun down as a planet. It is in fact a star.
I realize
And
this.
if you make that mistake with something that simple, how can we trust the rest of your data?
That actually wasn't my mistake. That was the mistake of the ancient Greeks. I was just showing the
Yeah, but you didn't
original.
stop him.
That was the original
Elijah,
planet.
you there?
Yes,
When the
I'm
Greeks-
here.
Then how do you know that they did this?
I didn't hear what you said, but I agree. What did she say?
I said, if you weren't there, how do you know that's what they believed?
Good point.
Because the
I
Greeks
can't, I
were
can't
dumb.
refute
hun-
this. She wins.
I'll choke you, bro. Noah.
All right.
I
Michael.
was there. I know.
All right. Yes. Hi. Hello. So at the beginning, you listed that science and technology improved, and this allowed them to better classify planets. However, it's really just a human construct, isn't it? Just like time. We just put labels on things because we want to. And so later people decided that, yeah, okay, we want to label Pluto as something not a planet, but the whole of humanity does not agree. And so would not it be best to remain at the status quo?
That is a good point, but that's getting more into philosophy rather than actual definitions of things, rather than the science aspect. If you're
But the
going on a philosophy
What is it?
aspect of what is easiest to go by, then yes, I could definitely see the point being argued that Pluto should stay a planet because that is the status quo. However, if you want it to be accurate scientifically based on what humans discovered, then it should not be considered a planet.
What
Wouldn't
is philosophy if
scientifically-
not defining the universe?
Exactly. Science is also a human construct. It's how we perceive the world and what we perceive to be true based on what we perceive. Therefore, it is directly linked to philosophy.
I would like to be considered a planet from now on.
There you go.
Okay, then you get that. You can be whatever you
Well,
want.
it's
There we go.
2021.
Hey,
It's 2021.
if you
Gavel,
agree
gavel,
that
gavel.
I am a planet, then I agree that Pluto's a planet.
There we go.
If you don't lay off the frozen
Let's answer
foods, you
some
might be.
questions, please. One at a
Lacey.
time.
What kind of
Thank you very
gravitational
much.
pull do you have, Elijah?
The best kind.
Lacey.
Not with that, but
Okay, so in your presentation, you compared Pluto to the size of the planet of various moons. Was that a fair comparison though? Because a moon is classified as a natural satellite to a planet. Therefore, it has no relation to what size Pluto is.
That
If
is a
Pluto doesn't
very good
rotate
point,
around
actually.
a planet, it should not be compared to a moon.
That is a very good point, and I appreciate that. I actually thought about that in research. It wasn't so much being compared to moons as showing that there should be any correlation on whether or not it's a planet, but more just showing how small it is.
Why does size matter? There are short people and there are tall people.
Well, that's going back to the fact that saying I could be a planet. If you're talking about size doesn't matter. I mean, sure, I'm much smaller than any other planet, but
On your
so is
diagram,
Pluto.
Pluto, what
However,
that
you
much
are,
smaller than-
you are a living human being. You are not a rock or a ball of gas floating around in space.
What does that matter?
what
He
does it
could
matter?
be a ball of gas. We just don't know.
You just don't know.
Yeah, why does it matter that I'm not a rock? Explain that to me.
Because that's what a planet is.
Oh, why
you're
is that
rock
what a
or
planet is, but not what I said?
It's because that is scientific evidence. You
Mine
are
was scientific
scientifically
evidence.
A human. No, it wasn't. That was
Hmm.
personal opinion, and that's like saying you're a girl.
According
Someone's
to
gonna
their
get
kinds, Elijah. According to their kinds.
Maddie.
Can you say that one planet again?
That was my question.
My username
I'm not a native speaker. Please.
Can you
cut-
say that? Can you say that again? Because that was I died and then I do not remember the rest of the presentation after
Are you
that
trying to
point.
confuse
Elijah, can you
Karma?
read my name?
Or mine?
Alright,
Say it.
okay, there are two ways of pronouncing it. Which one are you wanting me to say? Are you wanting me to say Uranus or Uranus?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your anus.
What about my anus?
This is why I didn't say that.
Thank you, Elijah. We love you.
No.
It sounded weird, so it got so much worse.
Congratulations, we're all 12.
That's such a common, like, okay, if you look up scientists talking about planets, they will often refer to it as Uranus just because like the other is like people tend to make stupid jokes about.
Elijah is offended.
Oh my gosh, that just made my
I think that
whole
was
week.
appropriate.
That's so
Anyway.
great.
Christian, you have a question?
Uranus.
Yeah. Elijah, so as I understand it, the argument is essentially Pluto is too small to qualify as a planet, right?
Not necessarily.
So by that same virtue, would you be all right with signing off on a document that says the dwarves no longer count as people? Because a lot of them have property ownership, but I feel like we could really make a killing if we just kind of like shoved that out and just kind of like scooped all that property in.
I love that.
Can I tack one on to Christian's question?
Yes.
What does that mean for dwarf stars?
Those are stars. I
They're not
can't steal their
planets.
property. They're too big.
dwarves.
They're
They're
too
just little
big.
sparkles.
Listen, if I
Massive
can't put a
cell
hand in
property.
its pocket, I can't steal from it.
No, it wasn't so much that Pluto's too small to
Dude,
be a
yeah,
planet.
Peter Dinklage. Elijah, come on, sign off on this. Man has a lot of money.
No, so my argument wasn't that Pluto is too small to be a planet, but rather there are so many that are Pluto's size that it seems unreasonable to classify it with something other than that.
I gotta run.
mean, There's a
No,
lot of
James,
words.
but we didn't
too.
hear your Planet X
James, we
presentation.
need. Yep.
I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh no. All right, bye James. Bye James.
Well, I'll send my
Bye.
petition to you. I don't
See ya.
want to take up too much time.
All right, Noah, what is it?
So it's not necessarily like you said that it's a question of size, but it's a question of amount. So like if you had, let's say like I had a bunch of different clones of myself, does that then mean that we're no longer people because we're different from other people? We all look like Noah. So that means now we have to be classified as a different species because there's a lot of us.
That's actually a really good thought. Like genuinely, I'm not even as a joke. Like, I'm not sure if there was just supposedly like a race of clones, would they be classified as humans or something else?
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Your pose right now I can't.
I don't know what this means. He's just very overwhelmed. He's very excited.
Hello.
Hello. No, but genuinely, like not even as a joke. I really like that as a philosophical
Wait.
question.
Can the new chair like do this for him?
You look like a trapdoor
You have to
spider
get a
that's like
reclining
just
chair.
detected like a bug.
It has to be reclining.
Oh, I have a question.
What is it?
Okay, so it kind of seemed like you grouped the smaller planets together and very much compared them to the larger planets, and that seems like inequality or maybe a sense of
So
prejudice
you're saying that
to those
there is
smaller planets.
hundreds of thousands of planets then? That's the thing that you're going with then.
Well, I feel like it would be wrong to discriminate.
I will say
against
that they are
those.
planetary bodies, but are they planets?
Sir, you're being very insensitive at the moment.
Toby.
Begs the question that if one has enough drive and enough power, could they become a rock and ergo become a planet? Does that make Dwayne
we
Johnson
know by
a planet?
definition to be the rock. It's all
Dwayne
about
Johnson
power.
is a planet, yes. Mhm.
All right, Bell's turn.
Chloe.
Wow. Oh, Star Trek has multiple classes for planets, so I don't see why it would be difficult to have thousands of planets and just class them according to class M, class this, class that.
That's a
as we
great
need.
way of doing it. If you can get everyone to sign off on that, I would be fine with that. I'm just saying, based on the current classification system, it's not considered a planet.
So insensitive. I can't believe.
So
No,
we should change the current classification.
yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not against that. Noah.
Petitions.
So why is it in Star Trek then? Whenever they're trying to fly through this place, they're like, "Oh no, there's an asteroid belt in the way," or "Oh no," like just go a little higher or a little lower. You know, that has to do with what you said.
Thank you. I feel like we've spent way too long on this.
No, one more question.
Yes, Bridger.
So, are you telling me like what if there was an asteroid the size of Earth, but it was just in the asteroid belt? Would you call it a planet or not?
That wouldn't make it an asteroid if it was the size of Earth. Earth is way bigger than all of the asteroids in the asteroid belt. If it was the size of Earth, it
You
wouldn't be
said
an
it
asteroid,
wasn't.
it would be a
You
planet.
said size wasn't a factor.
Yeah, I thought size didn't matter.
It's part of it. The asteroid.
More
Okay,
about
there
what the
are over
planet does with
100,000.
itself.
There are hundreds of thousands of asteroids that are all similar size. If there was one the size of Earth, then it would be classified as a planet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so that's been about more like 30 minutes of questions.
It was
too fun to stop, though.
I do genuinely wonder though, because I know a lot of this has just been memeing. I am curious if anyone's thoughts were actually like actual thoughts on it.
I
Rachel.
mean, I feel like Dan's or Noah's. It's pretty
Honestly,
good.
in a really realistic way, the only qualm that I have with your presentation is that on the image of all the planets with their actual size, not what people used to think their actual size was, Pluto wasn't that much bigger than Earth, especially compared to the larger planets. And with that, I feel like its size is really the only factor. It doesn't feel like enough to justify a different classification.
Yeah.
Because it orbits around the sun just like all the
I
other
get that.
planets. And
Yeah.
that's my only issue.
And that's
We
why I
all
said it's
just
not
go
the
around
only
the sun.
factor. One being like it's in the Kuiper belt that has like 35,000 other things of similar size.
Interesting.
And a way to call Pluto a planet and not call the other ones planets, or to know all their names, we're actually kind of
Discriminating
segregating those
against them.
other exactly. So we have to make sure that the other ones don't feel bad by us not knowing. That was good. That was good, Elijah. Who would like to go next? It doesn't have to be very long.
Sorry.
All right. Let's go with Toby real quick.
Mine is not at
And then
all
we'll do Val.
fancy, but I would just like to make everyone aware that we have been in a worldwide crisis for a couple of months, and I'd like to bring it into light. As of September 30th, 2021, the lime Skittle is back. I think this is terrible, and I think it should remain apple, because if they change that, then it messes with the superior ranking of green, yellow, orange, red, then purple. And okay, so first off, here's why I think it should be apple. Close your eyes and remember being a kid. Your mom is trying to detangle your hair and it smells like green apple, right? Didn't you think, man, I could drink this bottle of detangler spray? Just a couple of times, right? It's not a bad thing. How many times have you sat down and thought, I would love to eat a lime? Never. You're more likely to want to eat the detangler spray. So that is my thoughts. There you go. I'm done.
Actually, I would like to object.
Okay, explain why.
I've been eating a lime every day for the past 5 years because I heard it's good for your digestive system. And I've grown to love the taste. And I mean, I don't really appreciate your hatred towards limes. Thank you.
Okay, but
We're going
where
to
did
be
you hear this?
removing
Was this like,
Kindred real fast.
was this like Dr. Phil's R Us or what? Was it something we could trust? Or is this some mom blog? What are your sources?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Noah, what did you say? Did you talk about removing me?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Sorry to
no,
interrupt
no.
your discussion. Sorry, go back to you, Toby. Back to you.
Do you have anything else, Kindred?
No.
Okay,
I
then
just
let's go
have
to
plans
Rachel.
to cancel you, but that's okay.
I'm sorry to attack you, by the way, but I just needed to know your sources. Okay, Rachel, go ahead.
Okay, I would just like to confirm that this detangling spray was in a green bottle with a yellow spray nozzle and was L'Oreal, right? Yes, I know it.
This is bringing back like a memory I didn't know I had.
I wanted to drink the bottle so badly.
I
So
wanted to
yummy for no reason.
I feel like all the boys are just lost.
I wanted to use this.
What are you talking about? I
sisters.
detangle my hair all the time.
It had like the little like octopus or something on it.
Yes, it did. Eyeball on it. It was so weird. Ouch. Okay, so my question is, there are those of us, I mean, lime is one of those things that it really enhances an experience with other factors. Like if you were to eat it, like you would, everyone loves lime in their margaritas. Everyone likes lime with like steak or something, or like some kind of meat, right? But nobody ever really truly eats lime by itself. Therefore, if they were to sell lime Skittles by themselves, I would have a problem with that. But in a mixture with other flavors, it can truly add an element you would not expect and you could grow to love.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but all I'm saying is the actual humans, they divide their Skittles into colors and then eat them one at a time equally.
The actual
they're all
humans, I
gone.
love it.
One to just pop up a handful of Skittles and pop them in is a monster. And therefore
Or
not a human.
elevated human being, alien.
Elevated?
I don't know, man.
Satan
I
2
don't
is
know,
most
that's-
elevated.
And plus, isn't the allure of Skittles that they're sour? And lime is one of the most sour acidic fruits or whatever they are. And so wouldn't that elevate the experience that you're already looking for with Skittles if it's extra sour?
I'm talking standard Skittles, not sour Skittles. In a standard pack of Skittles.
Yes.
Can we all just agree that the tropical Skittles are like by far the best?
No, we can't do that.
Nope, that can't happen.
You have to be in the mood for those.
You're
Can somebody remove her? Lime and now tropical Skittles.
Yeah, really.
All right, back to you, Toby.
Okay, Bridger, what's your question?
So my question is, what if the true flavor came from knowing that it was an act of rebellion since you weren't actually supposed to be drinking your sister's detangler? What if
I don't have a sister.
Well, I do. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's just delicious because you know you're not supposed to be doing it. Like,
But wouldn't they want to profit off of like your impulsive thoughts?
The flavor of rebellion.
I don't know.
Trademark it.
I'm done.
Trademark
Goodbye.
that.
That's it.
Okay, Professor Fish. Professor of Fish.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me finish chewing this cereal. Okay, I like to look people in the eye, but I don't like people seeing me eat.
Why did you leave yourself unmuted to swallow, Christian? That was awful.
Hold on.
I
one
thought it was
moment.
great.
You said it. Hang on, give me a second.
Oh, this is too funny. All right, that's enough laughing. So anyway, what I was going to get at, you mentioned essentially that the comfort of the green apple appears to come from like old memories of spending time with your family, and that makes sense. But has it occurred to you that the possibility, like maybe Skittles are moving away from that because the number of parent-child cannibalism cases are greater than 0? And it could be because people are associating the delightful taste not with the smell of detangler, but with their own mother.
So I do see what you're saying. However, I feel like the cases have only gone up because they're starting to report it more. I feel like there were cases back then, but it's
It's the
probably
Me Too movement.
more like swept
So-
under the carpet.
So you think that people have always been mistaking the smell of green apple for their own mother and devouring her, and that
Yeah.
it's only just now coming to light that this is a common issue?
Back then it was apple pies, but now with the modern moms, all they have time for is detangling your hair. They don't have time.
That
for
makes a
pie.
lot of sense. Thank you. I feel like I've learned a lot. I'm gonna go cry because I swallowed and somebody called me on it.
Enjoy. Chloe, what's your question?
It's not actually in regards to this, but I think we should do this regularly and get those plastic clappy hands. And anytime we have a point we disagree with, we do the plastic clappy hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that idea.
This would be a fun thing to do like once a month or something.
Or like
I'm down.
seasonal-
Yeah.
Noah, do you have a question?
I wanted to know what your list was.
From
when it
best to
comes
worst?
Yeah, and then I also had a side question about the racist way that you eat Skittles, but the first one, please.
Okay, it goes green, yellow, orange, red, and purple. And that is the only official ranking.
Very good.
Is that best to worst or worst to
Conceivably.
best?
Best to worst. And enjoy our fire alarms.
Did you say best to worst?
Beep, beep.
And I would like to also include that I am one of those monsters that does not appreciate Skittles enough, apparently, and just pours it in. And because I don't ever eat Skittles, I don't buy them. I just eat other people's Skittles. You'll be in a car with somebody and they're like, "Hey, you want some Skittles?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." And so they'll just pour some in my hand, and I'm like, "Okay." So
Skittle moochers don't count as people.
Monster.
I'm not a moocher. I just get offered things, and I'm trying to be nice, so I say yes.
I only offer you my food to be nice. I don't actually want you to take it, bro. And then you just eat all 5 flavors at once? What even?
Yeah, you have to eat them one at a time and kind of like have the color left over in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. She's civilized. She knows. You gotta get the stain.
You have to have sticky hands. You have to
I would
keep-
like to point out that that
I
means
use a-
that you're eating your own sweat.
Salty and sweet.
Stop it.
Fair enough.
Don't bring that to light. Leave.
It happens.
Oh, he went there.
Well, I don't take
That's a
orders,
really good
okay,
point.
Christian? I don't do what they tell me to do.
So, any more questions for Toby? Anyone? If not, we will turn it over to your nuts to Bell.
That's me, my dudes. So, tonight has offered me a golden opportunity, and that is to be able to rant about whatever I want. which I absolutely love. Give me 1 second, sorry. Okay, so I've decided that I will be ranting about things that just don't matter, because that's also great. So this is my choice. We have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and the way that he's just too much these days. All right, so we know him from the classics. We love Game Plan. Journey 2 was good. Moana was a big hit for him, right? And like growing up, I used to really enjoy when he was in things, because I was like, oh, good for him. That's so fun. However, why is he in all of the things all of the time right now? I can't get away from this man, and it's driving me insane. And I was thinking, okay, I would have an easier time with this if this man was like playing genuinely funny characters, which sometimes he is, because I really love Jumanji, that was good. But typically he's playing muscle man get lady, and I'm just not down for it anymore. So with him being as popular as he is he thriving, or is it just obnoxious? I have decided that he is just obnoxious. And as Kindred foreshadowed and brought to light earlier, the internet isn't even safe from him. He's got a banger going on TikTok, and I'm kind of annoyed that it even is a banger, because it gets stuck in my head, and I'm like, I don't want to like you, but this is good and I enjoy it. To top it off, the thing that annoys me the most, he for some reason has a show about his life, as if he needs this. We don't need this content. Like, that's so much, and it is so over the top. Okay? In conclusion, stop it, Dwayne. That's enough. Thank you. Noah.
I would like to wholeheartedly agree with your argument. I also want to add that I don't think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a good actor.
No,
I
he's
think
not.
he just
He's
plays Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in every movie he's in.
That is
They wanted him to play James Bond. I wanted to kill everyone. He's not James Bond.
He's put in movies, and he's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in like different formats. That's all he is.
Exactly. He's just big and buff and kind of like half dorky, but he never does any good like acting. And if
Yeah.
it's like a little bit of it, it's just, I don't know. So yes, I agree. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Christian.
Yes, Belle. First of all, excellent presentation. Really threw me for a loop there when you said obnoxious. Did not know we were going that route, but wholeheartedly agree.
Thank you.
Follow up. What are your plans to eliminate Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, either socially or physically? And do you require any assistance? Because I know some people who are really willing to like just hand over stuff like that.
Okay, we can talk about this later. I haven't really started thinking about that part of the plan yet. So far, it's just been anger and frustration, but we can definitely talk about that.
Let me assure you, those are the first steps.
Yes. Toby?
Okay, I also agree he has become too much, but can you agree that he did peak in Game Plan with I'm allergic to Finneman? I think that was the peak. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amen. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Elijah.
So you have completely changed my worldview.
Oh, good.
I am a fan of The Rock, but I haven't even really thought about the fact that he's just kind of become too much as of recent. However, I would like your opinion on one movie that I think if Hollywood decided to make it would be great. Doesn't matter if it's an action, a thriller, a comedy, doesn't matter. But something where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson plays every character.
I would be down for that. That also would be a good like challenge for his acting skills to see if he can ever stop being Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm down for that. That's good.
Honestly, it might be even better if he's just the same character like over and over again.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Like, I would love this movie.
Chloe?
I do agree with everything that's been said, and I also don't think that The Rock is necessarily a very good actor. But just to speak for him momentarily, in Jumanji 2, when he plays the role of
Jumanji's
Danny,
so good.
it's
Sorry.
so good, and he takes on the role of Danny DeVito, and you kind of believe that he has embodied Danny DeVito. Not a bad
Jumanji-
acting job.
Yes.
I haven't seen the second one.
Jumanji, it's so good. The Game Plan and Jumanji, those are like those.
I have it on DVD, Elijah.
Okay, we need to
Jumanji's
watch
so
it.
good.
I'll watch that
Absolutely.
movie anytime except for tonight because I gotta go to the airport.
Yeah.
Kindred, did you have a question?
I just want to congratulate you because this is the first time I don't want to cause a problem with someone's presentation.
I have united us all.
Yeah. But I was just gonna ask Noah also, what is good acting? Yeah.
Yeah, Noah, you
Please
can talk.
What
Please
is
demonstrate.
good acting? Good acting is whenever you can believe someone is actually a character. They're actually this person, as opposed to just this actor is in this role as this person. You have to be, it has to be believable. Like they have to forego their personal traits and take on the traits of this other person. If you've ever watched like read a book and then watched a movie based on it, and you actually believed this actor was this character, that's a good acting job. Whereas Dwayne the Rock Johnson is like, oh, it's just him, but haha, he's in this movie.
He's muscle man, get lady every time.
I believe it, yes. And also just
And
a
he-
second point. Have you ever seen the 1980 movie Clue?
Not familiar enough with it, but I do know what you mean.
Okay, he
But we
should have
still
played
in it.
he should have played the maid in that movie. That's just my opinion on that. Okay.
All right. I think that's all the questions. Thanks for agreeing with me. That was a good time.
So
Noah.
oh,
Oh, I wanted to ask a question. Does anyone actually find him that attractive?
Why is he so big? Why is he so big? Stop being so large.
The last movie I watched with him, I made fun of his neck the entire time and called him an egghead. So
Okay.
I find him
He's
attractive.
Muscle Man gets lady, but it's not even believable. Like Muscle Man would not get lady. Lady'd be like, ew.
Muscle Man can't even get laid.
He can't even play his own character.
The next time, you just ruined my new favorite movie.
I need okay, I'm going to clip that into an audio bit and just save it somewhere from this recording.
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry I interrupted you, Elijah.
Oh no, okay. So this is like not too weird. Chloe, don't want you to leave. However, I want to make sure you're paying attention to the clock because you do have somewhere to be.
I do. No, we're good.
Okay, good. Just wanted to
She
make sure
doesn't
you're not
get
like
in until 10:45 tonight.
really. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm gonna
that
be in the
got
city
delayed?
at 10:45.
It got delayed then, or
No, that's just when her flight is that she got.
thought you said you had to leave at 8.
I was gonna like maybe leave the Zoom meeting around like 8:30 because I need to actually put on like jeans to drive because you know what? You never know when you're gonna get hit and then you have to stand outside for forever with people talking to them.
Mhm.
You just never know.
Yeah.
True. Well, thank you very much, Belle, for your presentation. I'm glad we're all able to agree on something. Who is left over, has a presentation that would like to do a presentation? Christian, I saw your hand first, and then we'll do Michael right afterwards.
Michael's been here longer than I have. He should go first.
Rock, paper, scissors. Lizard.
Oh my goodness, the
Oh, boy.
age-old
We're
sport.
doing
Come on,
this?
Michael.
All right.
Haven't done
One-
this in a while.
Just one though. That's the
Okay,
the
ready?
real one. Just one.
Michael, what's your favorite color? It's
Blue.
relevant. Good. Go.
Oh wait.
Oh
Is
my
it-
goodness, you got me. You won. Go ahead.
Are scissors
did-
red?
You threw like a
What do you
whole
mean?
second
No,
after
you
I
clearly
did.
won. Fair and square.
What a good sport.
All right, all right. So, I think Christian just wanted to watch me fail first. And then all right, all right. I have absolutely no notes for this. I just have pictures and spirit. So here we go. I am discussing why boneless wings origins are not what you think. Many people think that boneless wings originated in Buffalo, New York. and thus they are called buffalo wings. But I'm here to tell you that in fact, boneless wings are a result of real buffalo wings. They took the wings off the buffalo, they used the bones for glue, and then they used the meat for boneless wings. You might ask, where is the proof of this? Exhibit A. Boneless buffalo wings are sold at Buffalo Wild Wings. And look here, the buffalo has a wing. Now, why would that be if the buffalo did not have wings? They are in on the secret, my friends. They know the origin because they made the buffalo wings. Exhibit B, the buffalo skeletal structure. You see here a very large mass. It is designed for carrying both the neck and the wings. Note the extra bones. You see, the historians have decided to join forces with the boneless wing creators, and therefore, upon reconstruction of animal structure, they removed the bones, but they didn't know where to put them, so they just kind of left them lying on the floor. Now, why would they do this? Well, no, I forgot a question. Why do people not care? Propaganda. The KFC commercial, I Ate the Bones, reveals that in horror, their customers ate the bones. Now, why would that be a bad thing? You are what you eat. Bones would strengthen your bones if you ate bones. It's because of milk. They want to increase milk sales. Are your bones made of liquid? No, they're made of bone. And yet they expect you to drink milk to strengthen your bones. What madness is this? Eat bones, my friends. Don't drink milk. All right.
I want to be your friend. I don't want to eat bones for the rest of my life. Thank you.
All right. Chloe, you have a question.
You're our hero.
I don't have a question. Just you have enlightened my life. I feel enriched. I feel like the world has been lying to me. And also, I know you put that presentation together like 30 seconds before this started. I'm just, well done. Well done.
That slogan, though. Wow. Lord.
Bones are important to me. Okay. Christian.
Yes, Michael.
Mhm.
My question is essentially, does this recontextualize the early settlers and their massacre of all of the bison and buffalo into being a positive thing? Because I feel like I would be really worried if I saw like a herd of buffalo flying through the air. Like, what if they like crashed into your house, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Is that good now?
That is definitely a real threat, and that is exactly you caught on.
So the
that's
Native
why
Americans were wrong.
they perceived them at, well, the Native Americans, they flew on them. So
The Native Americans flew on them,
yeah.
and they didn't teach us. No wonder we tried to kill them all.
Why
That's
would
just
they teach us? We literally took their home.
yeah. We
Took
beat them
everything.
fair and square. Hand over the trade secrets. It's like they never been corporate takeover in their life.
Thank you for your excellent question. Pluto. Elijah. That's
Okay, so not necessarily specifically to your presentation, but after all of the presentations are done with, can we please have a poll to vote on whose was the best? I really want to do this.
See, that's not fair
I'd be
because this
down
was a
for that.
last minute type of thing.
Exactly. So no one can get offended. None of us had time.
Yeah.
No, because
Literally,
Karen,
literally
some
none
us
of us.
Hold on.
I feel like Bridger spent like 6 years on his though.
Okay, yeah, true.
That's
True.
true.
And I
Hours. They
spent
said hours.
How
a
about
ton
like,
of-
I wish we could give like medals, like gold, silver,
Mm.
bronze. Like I would.
I didn't have a lot.
What?
I'm
It's
over
just
here
a-
looking at clappy hands.
What did you say, Rachel?
Said, are you getting competitive?
No.
Like, can we? enjoy the moment and cherish our good time.
Oh no,
together.
this is extremely fun. I'm
Trophy.
just curious everyone's thoughts.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's funny.
So many-
I took a ton of time on my presentation and nobody said anything. So, I mean, I don't think the time really
Kindred.
matters.
What a
Hours
great
on-
presentation, Kindred.
Were you here to see
Absolutely
it?
phenomenal.
That's irrelevant.
Okay.
I would just like to make a quick announcement that somewhere in between the Dwayne the Rock speech and questionnaire, my parents walked in and I've never been more proud of my friend group. So thank you guys for being you.
Wait, what
Aw.
happened when they walked in?
There was just like, and his neck is ugly and he looks like an egg.
Nice.
These are my friends, mom.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Maybe he's gonna hatch into something stronger.
Oh, we're not ready.
Winnie the
Santa's-
Pebble.
Stone under pressure, Dwayne the Diamond Johnson.
Rachel, a pebble comes out and he just starts over.
Yeah.
He's not just a boulder. He's a rock.
I thought this said The Rock, but he's a politician. I was like, yes.
Nice.
Yes, he
Okay.
just says his name over and over again.
Any more questions
wh-
for Michael?
Oh,
Yeah, there
sorry.
are.
Sorry, go ahead.
We can get back to
Oh,
you,
I
Elijah.
was
It's
I was
okay.
just double checking. Like, I don't want to like it's not a competitive thing. I'm just genuinely curious everyone's thoughts.
Hey.
Okay.
I think it's safer
My
if we
problem is
Probably,
there's too
yeah.
many that were
I don't want
really-
to.
Okay.
It would be
If you guys
so
don't want
hard.
to, then that's fine. I was just genuinely curious everyone's favorites.
I'm taking back my chair donation for that, Elijah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Honestly, I would be fine if I got like 0 votes.
I just think it would be
having
too
fun,
difficult because like there've been so many good ones. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's
many
the
good
thing. I'm like,
I think we can
that's why I
just-
was thinking gold, silver, and bronze.
I think we can just say out loud that we all like the Rock one. So
I agree.
Yeah,
Here for Bell.
I
Belle,
was
you're
thinking
you're the winner.
I was thinking
Oh,
that was my favorite.
Michael's was really
Thank
good
you.
too.
Also, I'm scared.
Michael's was gonna be my 3rd favorite, and Bridger's was gonna be my 2nd. That
I
was
think
my gold,
Michael's
silver,
might
and
have made me
bronze.
cry. I'm not sure. It's hard to say at this
I would
point.
like to perceive Bell.
For tonight, I am making it so that like you can perceive me tonight, but only tonight. After this, stop it. Don't look at me.
It's the exception.
All right. Bill, you keep.
So-
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Any
Belle
more-
keeps raising her physical hand, but then Toby did too. We'll take Belle then Toby.
Just want to get back on track here. I have a real question. Okay, so your speech makes me think about Red Bull and how on the Red Bull can is the winged buffalo. Do you think that that correlates at all?
The Red Bull can is a red buffalo. I'm not too familiar with Red Bull, so
Okay, so yeah, so the Red Bull can has a buffalo on it that has wings, and their slogan is Red Bull gives you wings.
I see. Perhaps
Yeah.
the feathers are involved somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Horse flies exist too, and they're probably derived from horses when they had wings. Did everything lose its wings?
Oh boy, it's getting deep.
Whoa.
only when pigs fly.
Only when pigs fly. Yes. Okay, Toby.
Okay, so should we only eat bones on Bones Day according to Noodle the pug?
According to Noodle the pug.
Or
I'm
do we
not-
also eat bones on No Bones Day?
Toby, that was a wonderful question. We probably sorry, can I take over for a second?
Go ahead. I don't know anything about this pug.
I think that we should be eating the bones on the No Bones Day because the No Bones Day is a bad day, but a Bones Day is a good day. So if we want to have a good day, we should eat bones on No Bones Day to hopefully inspire a Bones Day.
I concur with my research.
I have no idea what this means.
It's a
Wait, we're
TikTok
eating
thing. There's a
pugs?
small pug, and so they set him up, and if he falls over, he has no bones, and it's a
So it's
day
a
just
bad
to stay
day.
in bed. But if
Yeah.
he stands up, then it's going to be a good day.
I will
joke.
add that eating bones strengthens your bones. And therefore, if you want strong bones, you might want to be eating it a little more often than bones day, however often that occurs.
So it's a supplement.
I mean, it's a supplement in the sense that iron and vitamin C are a necessity.
It's like how babies absorb the mom's calcium and take away part of their bones to make their
you.
bones.
What about that
That's good.
Flintstone gummy?
Well, gummies are in fact made of gelatin, which is bones. So yes, the Flintstone vitamin. gummies were
Unironically, yeah.
exceptional.
That's so funny, but that's actually true.
Good
a
point,
question.
Bridger. All right.
So does this
Bridger
mean
seems
you're an
mortified.
advocate? Does this mean you're an advocate for cannibalism? If you are what you eat, you must eat humans in order to stay alive.
Yeah.
Well, according to a book known as the Bible, man must live not on bread alone, but on every utterance of Jehovah's mouth. And so, therefore, as a human, to be human is not so much of a physical eating, but of a consuming of spirituality.
Should my next month presentation be on cannibalism? I feel like it could be.
How often do we eat Jesus's bones?
Only the
Dude, the
anointed eat
society
Jesus'
has so
bones.
little written about cannibalism.
I
looked
know,
up.
I've looked
There's
it
not
up
much.
too.
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay. So obviously don't go too much into spiritual topics because like don't want to cause debates on that. But
They still eat
seriously,
people in Papua New Guinea.
what'd you say?
Really,
They
feel like
still
we
eat
need an
people in
article.
Papua New Guinea. If you come there and you're sick, the little witch doctor will tell you we have to eat you.
Melvin, is that you?
Dude, I gotta be honest. If I walked into a hut because I was feeling bad and some dude just handed me a human toe and said, "Just eat this," I'd be like, you know what? I actually feel great. I'm actually feeling better already. I'm gonna go.
Is this vegan?
And that's why they keep doing it, because every time they offer it to you, and then you find out what it is, you're suddenly better.
Okay. Topic point. Human is technically vegan because humans are not animals.
True. Or
Unless
fungi.
you come from an evolutionary perspective, which a lot of
We are mammals. We are mammals.
the way it's being recorded.
We have higher thinking ability than animals. We can praise God.
Recording is still in progress.
Still a mammal.
Any more questions for Michael?
Kindred, I believe you've had your hand raised for an eternity.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna cause a problem. Don't worry. I was just
can
gonna
tell from
say,
your name.
okay, that how busy will we be in the new system if we're constantly putting the wings back on the buffalo?
Oh my God.
That's a very good question.
That was in
We
your
don't
rain,
really
Buffalo
know,
Rain.
but if it becomes hard enough, I'm sure Jehovah will give us the necessary help.
And we'll have the glue that we originally made with their bones to glue
That's
them
really
back on.
meta and strange, but yeah, that
We
would
will
work.
maybe they'll once again have wings.
Yes,
True,
majestic buffalo flying
on a
over the
serious
plains in which they graze.
On a serious note, I'm pretty sure that wings on buffalo must be like from some Greek mythical creature or something. So I'm gonna look it up and check. I know that's gonna ruin it, but
Okay, you do that, Kindred. Well, who's to say they didn't base that off of the real animal? All right, Jared.
See, I've actually seen quite a few mini buffalo going through North Dakota. I come close to hitting more than one on more than one occasion. And I can confirm, as long as the bull or the buffalo is drinking Red Bull, and you've also drinking Red Bull, you can see the wings. Otherwise, if the bull hasn't, or if the buffalo hasn't drinking the Red Bull, they're invisible. That's why to normal people, they have no idea the concept, but to
Did
us,
you just call me normal?
yeah.
Normie.
I feel attacked.
Thank you, Jared. First-hand experience, everybody. First-hand.
All right.
That is an excellent note to end on.
Does anyone else have a presentation they would like to make?
Me.
Oh, yes. I am so sorry, Christian.
It's
Please.
okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're a true Christian. Go ahead.
Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, put away all of your alcoholic beverages and recover from your
No.
loss in the sauce as I share the most intoxicating thing known to mankind. A
I in fact will
compelling
go get
argument.
my alcoholic beverage. Thank you.
I have my
Is Mother
alcoholic
okay
beverage
with
right here.
this?
It is technically alcohol.
Okay. As we were saying, I wrote this up. It's a little breach from procedure. I wrote this up at work. These are all my notes, but they're on here, and I know what I'm talking about. I'm here to tell you about the greatest threat to humankind today. That's right, lobsters. Now, we may wonder, why are lobsters the greatest threat to humankind? Well, it's very simple, really, but we're going to cover it in several sections here. We're starting with the physical, and then we'll go down more to the social and the economic and kind of, hit it on. Now, the first reason lobsters are just incredibly the prime nemesis of humankind. They're just disgusting. Oh my goodness. Have you ever looked a lobster in the face? They're nasty. They're like asymmetrical. They got all those little prawn tinglers. They're like cat whiskers made of like meat and flesh, and they're gross. And like honestly, I can't imagine like ever getting near a lobster and reaching out your hand. Because like unlike like a cat or a dog where you like pet them on the head, like a lobster would just eat your finger. It's disgusting. Secondly, they communicate in gross ways. Lobsters actually have 2 bladders on the side of their faces, and they communicate at each other through urine. And honestly, while I might not know everything about friendship and best friends, I certainly know that peeing on your friends isn't a good way to keep them your friends. And it's really weird that lobsters have developed a system all about that because it's so intrinsically anti-human. It's like they're going exactly against our moral standards to try to embrace their own. Which brings us to an uncomfortable point, which I have to bring up. First and foremost, that lobsters are not our friends. Truly, our best friends are actually more than likely Japanese fishermen. That's a topic for another day, but it's true. Japanese fishermen are out there saving us from the threat of lobsters every day. They don't get enough appreciation, and I feel like that should be noted. Can you guys see the Japanese fishermen? No? What about now? That's better. That's better. Now you can see the Japanese fisherman. This guy out here, this man's a savior, a protector. He may wear a cape made of what appears to be hay, but it's a cape nonetheless. Secondary point, recently lobsters, among some other less harmful, more understandable creatures of the earth, have been marked as, get this, sapient beings. Look at that, sentient beings, because it's been determined that they feel pain and distress. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's neat. That's cool. Well, animals feel pain and distress. They feel, happiness and joy and kindness. We look at a dog, it wags its little tail and it's adorable. It's great that they do that. And it's wonderful that we can appreciate their company like that. But here's the thing. While we may immediately go to such positive and beneficial emotions like joy and happiness, think that the lobster feels happy or maybe sad some days or gloomy or joyful or hungry, what the lobster actually feels that no one understands and no one talks about is revenge. That's right. They're using their sapience, their sentient ability. What else do you think they think about in their little lobster clubhouses except how they can get back at us for all those times we boiled them? And sure, boiling lobsters alive is terrible and I don't enjoy the idea, but now that they know it's on the table, how long is it going to be until they do it to us? How long is it going to be until the lobsters turn the table on us, stick us into a pot, and go at it? Pretty soon, I would argue. Next up, there are a lot of lobsters. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the exact population numbers of insects, but lobsters are just basically scaled up like cockroaches of the ocean. And so it goes to say that since there are billions of cockroaches, there are probably also millions, if not hundreds of millions of lobsters in the sea. We've been overfishing those things for like a century and a half, and they're still there. Usually when we try to kill an animal, it doesn't take us this long. We're really good at it. It's astonishing that there's so many of them still out there. Next up, if you would, please turn in your Bibles to the book of Genesis.
Shut it down.
You'll notice here, it says, further, God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and become many, fill the earth and subdue it. And here it is. And have in subjection the fish of the sea and the flying creatures of the heavens and every living creature that is moving on the earth. Where do lobsters move? In the sea, under the earth, but they do not qualify as fish. Now, clearly, we recognize that here the command was meant to be that we would have all the animals in subjection. So how could this possibly have happened? Well, this is still correct. We interpret it correctly. But the lobster lobby would have you believe that they don't qualify under the subjection of humankind. They would have you think that they are just as good as us and that they're trying to rise up and overtake our position as stewards of the earth. And frankly, we can't allow it, because if they take that from us, what else are they going to take from us? They'll be taking our marketing and our finance, our joy and our art, and they'll be making lobster versions of it. And let me remind you, lobster art consists on peeing on each other. And that's just disgusting. Who's going to want to live in a world like that? That's sick. Next up, it's important to consider that while we eat lobsters, lobsters also eat us. Okay? And this is a really big issue because, frankly, lobsters, they have no regard for who we are. Like, if you took King David, Lord and King royalty of the Israelites, you stuck him in front of a lobster, the lobster would give him no more disdain and respect as if though he was a sauteed steak. Like, there's no regard for humans in there. Lobsters, they don't care about us. They just see us as food because we've seen them as food. And they know that now it's on the table, they can bite back. They're scavengers by nature. They don't predate naturally, but with so many of them and all of our land, we're taking all the land, they're taking all the ocean, we're bound to clash. And they're so numerous, they're going to try to eat us because we've tried to eat them. It's going to happen. So it begs the question, what are we supposed to do? Right? What's all this about? What are we supposed to do? This is a call to action. We can't kill all the lobsters. Even though I really wish we could, it will cause ecosystem damage. And I recognize that. And frankly, it'll put a lot of people out of jobs, like, fishermen and those people who work at FEMA. They'll be out of a job not being able to cycle through all the disasters lobsters can cause. So here's the answer. We get these massive, just huge glass domes, right? Okay, see-through so that we can always watch them. We stick a bunch of surveillance cameras all around on the outside. We just collect all the lobsters. We put them in the domes. Sure, we might have to wipe out a few 100,000 million of them, but those are just statistical numbers and their pain's temporary and they can't fill out surveys anyway. So who are they going to complain to? The octopi? So anyway, we just shove them into these glass bowls. We fill them out. We let them have their little underwater metropoli cities and we quarantine them there under the surface of the watery deep and we let them live there. And every now and then we let the fishermen come by and cull the population and take them out. We take the smartest ones so that they never learn anything. And we make sure that they never discover physics or the ability to breach the barrier. And sure, some sickos out there can continue eating the most disgusting animal on the planet if they really want to. I mean, I guess that's why we have social hierarchy and differences between us anyway, so that we can have those nasty freaks. But the rest of us, what we get is a far greater reward. We get to live in a world where we can lay back at night. We can have a restful sleep and not worry about the possibility of somebody walking in and throwing a live lobster on our bed in the middle of the night because they thought it'd be a funny prank because they know that you're afraid of lobsters. Can you imagine? It's so terrifying to think that that's even remotely a possibility. I want to keep all my fingers attached. If I didn't, I'd go live in New York and leave my hand on the side of a bed so a rat could nibble them off. Anyway, that's my speech. Thanks for coming.
Bravo.
I'll take questions now if anyone has them. Elijah Sobelman.
I hope you don't genuinely have the fear of one of your friends bringing you a live lobster just because they think it would be funny. Like anyone that's
do.
truly a friend would never do that to you.
Yeah.
I do. I get the impression that they would find it funny, and it literally will wake me up in the middle of the night, and I have to do like a rundown to make sure like my toes are still attached just in case. And I
I'm
like
so
try to
sorry.
imagine how I would react, and I'm pretty sure I'd just fling everything off the bed at like Mach 3 into a wall.
I'm sorry. You shouldn't
Michael
have to-
Jameson.
you shouldn't have to be afraid of your friends doing something like that.
Here is the mind killer, but it keeps me active.
That's why
Elijah just wants you to let your guard down.
Yeah, that's it.
Michael, let me hear out
Yes.
your wonderful talk.
Question. Okay. Yes. You defined lobsters as something other than fish, and yet
Yeah.
the ones that protect us are fishermen. So
Yeah.
are they like undercover? Is this part of the
Okay.
job description?
Well, that's a very funny topic. So you're familiar with the concept of sometimes jobs can have broader scopes than what the job itself actually details. For example, the denotative nature of an astronaut is somebody who studies astronomy or who possibly goes up into the realm of astronomy. But you're familiar with the fact that, an astronaut collects rocks, which is clearly in the like scale of geology. But they still do it because it's still broadly in their spectrum, just like the ocean is broadly in the spectrum of a heroic fisherman going about his duty of ridding the world of as many fish as he possibly can.
I see. Thank you.
Dan Boyd.
Did you see the Aquaman movie?
No. Yes, I did.
So like I noticed there was a large lack of lobsters in the
Uh-huh.
Aquaman movie when
Perfect,
they
you
were
tried to.
attacking each other.
Yeah.
So like if they're truly as dangerous as people say they are, why didn't Aquaman use them to like kill the other guy? Thank
Good
you.
question. Dan, are you familiar with the nuclear option in warfare? The idea that once we start kicking around that great big ISBM softball, the world will just go up in oblivion. The second we start weaponizing the lobsters is the second we lose to a far superior enemy with much sharper hands and fingers. So the reason Aquaman didn't call up his homies, the lobsters, is because it's terrible. It would wreak destruction
Mutual
on a
assured
massive scale.
destruction.
Yeah. Chloe Bruno.
First off, I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings. That was quite the presentation. But I
Thank
just need to hone in. Do you really think us in New York get our hands chewed off by rats frequently? Like, is this a common issue?
I've read about it happening, yeah.
I just feel like you're forgetting there's an entire state that's not the city. I live in New York. There are no rats here.
Oh, see, but that's the issue, is that you forgot that the rest of the state's unimportant. It's all located in the city. I can see it's a common misconception as people think anyone cares about the rest of New York, but in actuality, we only care about the city part of it.
Just like
And,
people
Fair
only care
enough,
about
fair
the Pluto, but they don't care about the rest of the Kuiper Belt.
Hey,
even though
stop
they were the
hijacking
ones
the speech. I would like other questions, please. I am enjoying these. Bridger?
My question is, well, okay, I have one question for you, and then I have another question for someone else. Is this, does this encompass all shellfish? Because you mentioned several things, like, lobsters don't have respect for humans. So many other animals don't, including like shrimp. So, like, how do you feel about others in the shellfish family?
Okay. The simple answer is I hate them, but the complicated answer is, how like broadly speaking, bonobo chimps are vaguely similar to people in that they can use
Absolutely.
tools. Yeah. So like, you see a bonobo chimp, like that's kind of like a mini person in its own little way, just like a shrimp is kind of like a mini lobster in its own way. But certainly, if you're at war with the natives of, Zimbabwe, you don't up and gun down a troop of like chimps, because that's just wrong ecologically.
Right.
In the same way, while I'm willing to exterminate vast quantities of lobsters, I'm less willing to exterminate vast quantities of shrimp, but still not completely unwilling. Just
I
less
had
of them.
never thought about shrimp in relation to bonobos. That I just happened.
Mhm.
My second question was for Juliana. Do you have a presentation, Juliana? Just out of curiosity.
I do not. Sorry to disappoint.
Dang it! I really wanted to see you rant about something because you're always so calm.
I
and
know.
like,
Well, I have the flu, so that's a good excuse.
Oh, right.
Tragic.
You could sign it. You could sign
Next
it.
time.
Yes,
Sorry.
and I could interpret. That would be so good.
You could rant about the
Next
flu.
time. Next time.
Yeah, no,
Kindred.
you don't want to hear about that.
Kindred, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I did. I just want to say, so I can clear this up, I used to have a legitimate fear of lobsters also. So,
Kindred.
and that's just something you think about is there any circumstance where I would fear lobsters?
Yeah.
So one of them is, what if my friends want to play a prank on me because they hear I
Yeah.
have a fear of lobsters and then they get me a lobster just to prank me?
Yes.
It's not because
exactly.
we think our friends are evil. It's because it's a circumstance that could happen and we need to be prepared for it.
Well, I mean, I think some of my friends are a little evil, but certainly I think I'm on scale with them and I'd probably do worse things. So, Toby.
You said lobsters were ugly because their faces were asymmetrical, right?
They're
But like
disgusting.
a large majority of humans also have asymmetrical faces. So are you calling us all ugly?
No, only the asymmetrical ones. That's a simple question.
Yay, I'm ugly.
Sir.
That's a simple question, isn't it?
I'm ugly
No,
and I'm
okay.
proud.
Here's the issue, Toby. While certainly symmetry is something based in the idea of attraction, and everybody typically enjoys symmetry, lobsters aren't human beings. I know you can be misled because of the whole sentience thing, but if you go up and boop a person in the nose, they'll say, "Hey, why are you doing that?" And if you go up to boop a lobster in the nose, you'll discover it doesn't have one. And in its place are a mass of disgusting whisker tentacles. And it will bite you.
Bladders.
And then it will snap you with its little claws. And then you will bleed to death.
Yum.
Kindred, second question? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Let me talk. Okay. So did you know that lobsters sacrifice themselves? They
Yes, they
they
should.
walk they walk in a line when they have to migrate, and then when there's a predator nearby, one of them will just jump out of line and volunteer to be eaten.
Yes, and I imagine the same thing will happen when we bring harpoons and guns against them, which will make them all the harder a foe to crack.
I'll be a
Okay.
human sacrifice.
Literally crack.
Dan Boyd.
So we talked a little bit about the fishermen, right? The saviors, right? I just wanted to ask, to your knowledge, what's the motivation of the fishermen, or at least of the early fishermen?
A lot of them just like to eat food. I know this is a bit difficult in our post-scarcity society that we live in, but a lot of people still kind of enjoy eating and not starving to death. So that was definitely a big motivator.
So how can we condemn someone for eating lobster if the people we hold up as heroes are the original ones who ate the lobster? That's my question.
Oh, well, that's the issue. You're asking, why did the fishermen go out? The fishermen went out to eat. But certainly while out on their exploratory, soirees into the ocean, they didn't expect to find some cavernous, deep monstrosity. And having found it, certainly they condemned it understandably as being disgusting. So here's the issue, essentially, Dan, that you're asking. When you go into a mine and you're digging for gold and you happen to find, a pile of diamonds, you take them with you because they're equally acceptable. But when you're digging around in your mine and you happen to find, a vein of petroleum oil next to a bunch of methane that's triggered to explode, you don't stand around and hit it with your pick, even though it's kind of there. So in the same vein, while the anglers were certainly happy to have caught something once they reeled it out of the ocean, they took one look at it and went, "That's disgusting." And all the sane ones threw it back in, and all the nut jobs went, "Yeah, I could probably eat that."
But the question is, though, if we're trying to get rid of these, if we're trying to kill them or trying to kill them off, wouldn't you say the people who eat them who are actually killing them for a good purpose, as opposed to just killing for killing's sake? Aren't those the true heroes of society? Those who eat
And
lobsters because they take them off of the food
you'd be
chain?
astounded how many people bring up this argument with me. They all say, but people eat lobsters. Aren't those people good? They're supporting your cause. No, my cause is the death of lobsters. What happens afterwards is kind of irrelevant, but ultimately, here's the issue. Lobsters are intelligent creatures, and using their intelligence, they'll see that eating us is on the table. And while dying to a lobster is atrocious, certainly I'd rather die to one than be disemboweled by one and eaten. And that's the issue. Ultimately, I don't want to teach the lobsters that it's okay to just run up, grab somebody by the feet, and start snipping off toes while they're taking a swim through the ocean. But that's what we're teaching them. We're teaching them it's okay to eat your enemy. I don't want to eat my enemy. I want to kill my enemy. There's a difference.
So you want genocide pure and simple. I can respect that.
I want us
Thank
to go
you.
back to the old days where you overheated the like magma springs under the ocean and boiled the water until all the lobsters around it died. Why can't we go back to the old days when we just had petroleum spills to like wipe out vast areas of ecology? Why do we have to like overcomplicate things nowadays? We were very good at this back in the day, and we're just letting it slip through our fingers.
Who is we? Were you involved in this?
Christian's immortal.
It's fine. We
He's
know.
the Queen of England.
We already know he's immortal.
Any other questions?
Oh,
Comments?
yeah, I'll send the-
concerns?
My hand
He
is
already
up.
left.
I have questions.
Whose hand is up?
Chloe,
Chloe, I can't see you.
because I'm here. Hi.
Oh, hi, Chloe. Go ahead.
I would like to know when and why your fear of lobsters began.
When I was a child, long ago, I strolled through a Walmart supermarket. Walmart's kind of this treasure trove of just items all over the place. And anyway, one of the things they had in Walmart naturally was a seafood section. And having walked through the seafood section, I found it funny to stop by the fish and poke them in the eye because it was squishier than the other parts of their body. And I would do that all the time. They were already dead, so it's fine. It doesn't count as
Like,
desecration because nobody caught me.
This is crap.
Anyway, as I got older, I stopped doing that because it's kind of weird. But while I was there poking the fish, I would
Thank
watch
you for
the
clarifying.
lobsters. I would watch the lobsters play in their little pen because they had a few of them there for eating purposes. This was back when Walmart did that, even in Maysville, Kentucky, of all places. So I would watch the lobsters, and like certainly it was neat to see living things because as a child, so many of the things I saw weren't. But the issue was, as we kept watching, I gradually became aware of the fact that they were repulsive creatures, tied up and bound like prisoners of war, as they should be, in these little glass cages. And ultimately, yes, prisoners of war, Bell. And ultimately, I can read lips. And I realized these are terrible, terrible creatures. And I imagined myself like holding a fish, and certainly that was a little repulsive because they have all those scales and like they wiggle around like living things do, and that's kind of freaky. Nobody likes it when living things move too much. But lobsters were so much worse because they had all those extra limbs and like legs, and the legs were bad because they look kind of like big old centipede things, but worse than the legs were their faces because I just could not comprehend a face like that. Where does the mouth even start? They're like oversized grasshoppers born in the ocean and raised to incite nightmares. And gradually I just came to have that fear of lobsters, and it occurred to me that I'm not afraid of all that much stuff. Like the dark, certainly the fear of the unknown is something universal, but what I was actually afraid of was a giant lobster just coming into my room. Like a humanoid hybrid lobster was the most frightening image I can imagine. And having realized that, it occurred to me that my fear of anything else was ultimately irrelevant. I was just afraid of lobsters.
All right. Well, people are starting to leave, so I want to like before everyone leaves, was there any other debates or is everyone done?
Who was No More Rock?
Jared.
Jared.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm gonna stop the recording then.